All right, all right. We are streaming live right now, and we are about to add TikTok to the mix. We're going to be looking at some quarters today. First, we are going to, well, here, let's finish getting these set up. I'll watch that. Muted, good. Refresh this. I said refresh this. There we go. We are live. There we go. There we go. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's go live. All right, we are live. Ooh, give me 1 second here. I'm just hearing a little bit of sound. Is that better? Perfect. All right. Hello, hello. We are going to do our first live here on TikTok this evening. We're going to kick things off. We're actually going to just go ahead and go through finds from last night. Hey, hey! First, welcome in. Again, if you didn't see the video last night, we went through some car wash quarters, and we found a Susan B. Anthony dollar. We're going to set that guy off to the side. We found an Alaska Paw Error quarter. Hopefully we'll find more of those. We found quite a few over the last few days. And this is the guy we're going to be hunting for primarily tonight. Daddy! Any 2019 or 2020 quarter. Hold on, buddy. We're looking for this W mint mark. So we can find D's, we can find P's, but we want those W's. So I'm going to package this guy up. Yeah, no problem. Excellent. All right. And then tonight, as we go through, we are going to have some little surprises as we go, but if you see... Accent. Gotta be quiet, buddy. Shh.
Daddy, I'm walking you.
Okay. But we've got some rolls that are left over. We've got a bag of car wash quarters. Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate it. And then we've got another bag of laundromat quarters. So Sunday is definitely a weird day to be going through some coinage, just because you don't get a lot of opportunity. Banks are closed, and definitely wasn't expecting to hit that 1K followers on a Sunday. But I figured since I did, I wanted to go live right away. So without further ado, let's kick some things off with a roll of quarters. And this guy right here, we got a Tallgrass Prairie on the end. That's got a chance to be a W. And then Tuskegee Airmen, it's a 2021. Nothing special about that, but that's okay. A couple things we can look for on that guy. So as we go through, as I said, we're looking for those W's on any 2019 and 2020 quarter. Opening our first roll, looking for any possible silvers, and then if we come across any opportunity for errors, that guy looks clad, but definitely a duller appearance to it. What is that? I think it's just dirty. 1965. Boo. 65, the year. Ooh, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the presents. Being my first live, I am going to give my top 5 gifters the opportunity to win a W quarter, because I did get a duplicate Lowell the other day. I actually have 2 of these. I found one in my change from a store, and I've got a second one there. I am actually new-ish to collecting coins. So my stepdad has always been into it, and actually he and I have had discussions on it a little more recently. But for me, I actually work in retail and found a couple of silver quarters just in the drawer. These 2 guys right here. They're not great condition, but of course they've got that silver value. I noticed because they just sounded different when I was counting the money at work. So I bought those out of the register and did some research. I actually saw a live stream on TikTok from BWeave1, who is awesome at doing this, very fast and efficient. And then another live stream from PogChamp, and kind of got into it. And since then, I've been doing this for 9 days. Went from literally 0 followers in my first video to 1,000 followers. So if it's something you're interested in, definitely something that that anybody can do. So yeah, a little bit about myself there, but I'm super excited to be here, and really able to really enjoy this, and hope to share that knowledge and kind of grow and learn together with everybody else. So this guy's 2020 again. We've got that chance for that W on the back for sure. That is a D though. A D on a 2020 is just worth 25 cents, and we just put it in. Oh, super fun. All right, nothing special there. Super fun. 81. So on these eagle backs, we are looking for 83p. You got a chance for a spitting eagle, which would just be a line coming out of that eagle's mouth. Kind of looks like that line there. But I think this, yeah, that's just dirt and gross. There are some other random ones. The 83p is the one that it's recognized. Oh, he's got a bicentennial quarter. Kind of kick things off here. These can have some errors. They're only worth 25 cents. In 10 days of doing this, though, I've got that many bicentennials that I have found. So you get a full roll of them, they're worth an extra few bucks. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. It's the newer guy, 2021. In the 2021 Tuskegee Airmen, you just want to look in the goggles, see if there are any extra marks or extra material up there. That's probably the most common option for these. I don't look too hard on the 2021s because there aren't a lot of things there. But yeah, as we're going through, that's just something we'll glance at with the 2021 Tuskegee Airmen quarters. And then any of you guys that are hanging out watching the live stream, this is probably my least favorite design. I think this Mount Rushmore is super ugly. It doesn't look like Mount Rushmore at all. 74. Somebody like scratched out the mint mark on that guy. It's an interesting one. Got Salt River Bay. This has a chance for that W. Nope, that's a D. Salt River Bay, I find a ton of them here, and I don't know if that is maybe just local, but to give you an idea, I said some of the ones that I look at later off to the side here, and I've got 3 stacks of Salt River Bays, all of them D mint marks, and all from different places. So I don't know, how do you guys find as many Salt River Bays as I do? Because sure do find a ton of them. Nothing there. Indiana. So we look at the backs of all of them, even if they're not a 2019 or 2020, because we want to look if we find an S mint mark. That's one that should be collectible and typically wouldn't be in circulation, so it makes it a bit rarer. But welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for coming into the live stream. Let's see if we can get this on that For You page for a bunch of people. So if you tap the screen really fast, 80 times. By the way, this is the better South Dakota quarter. I like this one a lot better. Tap that screen really fast, 80 times. You fill up this bar up in the top corner, right up here. And that actually gets the chance to put it on that For You page. And we can get some more people here in the channel. Get some more chatting. Effigy mounds, yeah, it's one that definitely throws me off as well. I'm just not sure how exactly I feel about it. Another bicentennial, look at that, 2-in-1 roll. Love it. Add that to the jar. It's a D. It's a D. Oop. Kansas, this is one that can have an error. First and foremost, you want to look for an extra mark on the hump of that for a double mark on the hump. And then looking for this on the In God We Trust. If that T is worn down, then it says In God We Rust, then you've got an error. But this one looks like that T is just as clear as the rest of that. Yep. So that one says In God We Trust. And there we go. So I am in Iowa. Yes, you can find the spitting bison as well. I'm looking for 83 Ps for those spitting eagles, speaking of spitters. But yes, I am in Iowa. I'm right in the Midwest. Connecticut's another one. You hold it straight up and down and give it the old flip, And if Washington's head is straight up and down, then there's no errors, 25 cents. And this guy is 25 cents. 91. Arches. Another Salt River Bay, 2020. Come on, W. Nope, that's a D. Find a lot of Salt River Bays. That's quickly becoming one of my most disliked quarters, but of the few W's that I've got, I do have a Salt River Bay that I found not too long ago, and that one has that W. Again, that's what we're looking for, is that guy right there. We've got one Salt River Bay W. Again, we found this guy, the American Memorial Park, last night, actually in car wash quarters. And then we've got two Lowell 2019. Oh, I'm sure, yeah, Denver being right there. Totally makes sense that you'd get a lot of D mints. 286s in a row, how about that? Harper's Ferry, I typically set those aside too and look at them a little bit later. I'll glance for the windows in just the one spot. And then if I don't see it, then I will set it off to the side to kind of give a closer exam later. I definitely will pull it up on the bigger screen if I do find one of those errors. There's an 83p. Unfortunately, not seeing a line coming out of that eagle mouth. Nope. No spitter on that guy. Yes, undoubtedly you get West Point, right? So on this Nevada one, we're going to look for some pooping horse errors. By the way, just so you all are aware, I am multi-streaming. No poop, no poop, and check the third horse. No extra material there. So to kind of give you all an idea, I'm going to move the camera here for just a moment, take it out of here. So to give you an idea of the setup, so that's what I'm looking at on the desk, but I am streaming, and this is what I've been doing until I could live stream on TikTok. So I stream on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube, so I kind of keep everything pulled up there. I've got multiple monitors. I am using the Tom Love microscope. And then that is actually posting onto my computer, which then goes into the stream. So if you want to see more than just the screen through TikTok, you do have the option to do so. You can actually find the link through the link tree in my bio for all of my other social media channels. Sorry, bumped the camera in that process. But there we go. Yeah, right? We do have some technology in Iowa. Go figure. 84. Nothing good. Probably the longest it's taken to get through a roll of quarters here. But I appreciate everybody coming in, chatting. That is a Crossing the Delaware 2021. I don't check those for errors, but they do have a couple things that you can find. Oop. We got a sad baby. I have found so many 6-claw paw errors. Last one in this roll is that Tuskegee Airman we saw. Not seeing anything in the goggles there. But literally 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got a 5th one, and then that one from last night. I've got 6-claw paw errors in 9 days of doing this. It's crazy. And then I have 4 W's. We've got a 3-year-old and a 14-year-old. So we've got a little bit of a mix. I mean, it's a couple bucks, so you just never know if I get a bunch of them, you know, sending them to someone, or as I'm live streaming. A little giveaway is always good. All right, that's interesting. It's about 50-50. I literally think about half of the ones I find. A couple really shiny ones right there in the middle. But yes, absolutely, undoubtedly, the most common error that I find as well. Yes, some super shiny ones right in the middle there. So we'll see what those are. I'm excited. 1990. By the way, again, not a lot of rolls. I was not sure if I was going to get to the 1,000 this weekend or if it was going to be on Monday. So we only have 5 rolls, but stopped and got some car wash quarters and some laundromat quarters. So the rolls that I get are from local banks. I get them from a few different ones. Typically Loomis is the one who delivers through them. But yeah, I find a lot of the errors really come from mixed bags. The only thing is the laundromat that I've gone to a few times now. I have not found anything but 6 claw paw errors from the laundromat. So it's very possible that they might go through them, or I might just be really unlucky pulling from there. Yes, come on, W. I would love to get one this first live stream. Not even too much to look at yet, but again, there's a D. Regardless, thank you guys for joining once again. I appreciate y'all being here for the first live stream here on TikTok. Cross streaming all over the place. Oop, there we go. So on Wyoming, we're going to look for some extra material back here between the tail and the butt, or down here by the legs. I'll probably be here for a couple hours. I think having about $200 in quarters, and then I have some pennies, and then I also have some coins that my father-in-law gave me to go through that he had just been accumulating for a bit of time, so kind of unsearched for several years. So I have some things I could definitely go through. 65s, again, the most produced quarter was 1965 in U.S. history. I set those off to the side because you can super rarely find a silver, which would sound different. It'd be pretty obvious, but yeah. Arkansas. Oh, that guy is ugly as heck. Whew. Nice, congrats on that one West Point. Copper pennies are always good. These must be, oop, there we go. National Park could have been a W. Again, if that D was a W, this quarter could be worth probably, in that condition, 10 bucks or more. I know a lot of people say 20 bucks plus on those W's. For me, ooh, hold on a second. So on these, I'm going to kind of hold you up to the screen here. And so we're looking at a couple things. We are looking, oops, hit my light there. We're looking at the bat's nose. And then in addition to that bat's nose, over here on the left-hand side of the bat's nose, we can get some extra material. We'll look at Unum, and that Unum might be double struck. I'll have to take a look at it in different light. And then you also want to look at the left-hand side. The word America in American Samoa can often be double struck. And that one, again, I'm going to set off to the side because it looks like it might have that double striking there. If it doesn't, I totally hit something on my light though. There we go. Turned it on to a yellow light. Well, again, gifters tonight. Top 5 gifters. Ooh, a 2020. I think those were probably my 2 shiny ones too that we saw in the middle there. That one could have been a W. Unfortunately, no suspense because we got them head side up. Ooh, there we go. Delaware. We got a chance for a spitting horse. Not seeing it at a glance, but double check that. Nope. Looking out of the horse's mouth, see if we got a line there. Nothing on that though. Of course, if you are new, feel free to hit that follow button if you like the material. Ooh, another Colorado. Colorado, you want to look for extra material right here between the mountain and the edge of the quarter. And then you can look for doubling in the word Colorado. And again, it's really obvious if you've got the extra material there because it just fills in that gap. And this one definitely does not have that. I've not found one of those yet, but I definitely check every one just to be sure. But that one is just 25 cents. Georgia. There we go. I bumped the light when I was showing you guys the screen there. Streaming through TikTok versus just using the camera feature. Ooh, another bicentennial. That's our third bicentennial tonight. Rim of the drum looks intact on this guy. I have found one that has the grease error where the rim of the drum isn't visible, and then the drumsticks have the break. So I found those errors, but again, not worth anything particularly. Unless you get a full roll of them, but I am over halfway to a roll in just 10 days of searching. So definitely worth setting off to the side, get an extra few bucks. California. 2020, come on, W. Oh, that one's a D. We want that D right there to be a W. Then that quarter's worth significantly more. North Dakota, that one's pretty dirty on the backside there. 85, the year I was born. Good year. Nothing special about quarters from 85, but good year. Oop, Nevada, we'll check those horses, look for any extra material on their backsides, behind their butts, or around their legs. Nothing, nothing, and nothing. We've got 3 horses. Beautiful material. That guy's worth 25 cents. River No Return. This is probably my favorite quarter. I don't know. The design is nothing super special, but I like the name. River No Return just is ominous, and it has a chance to be a W. So this is probably my most wanted W. And that one's just a D. But that's the W that, as I'm hunting, I'm really going for. Yes. D. Oh, Harper's Ferry. Again, we check those windows. Ooh. Nope. Nope. No extra thing. So we check the windows on Harper's Ferry. Oop, another roll. Can we get a W? Oh, that's a P. That is a P, no W. Come on, W. And another River of No Return. Come on, W. Nope, that's a D. Last quarter in that roll. All right, guys, do we want to do another roll? We only have 3 rolls left. We started with 5. Or do we want to switch it up? Do we want to do some car wash or laundromat quarters? What do you think? As far as rolls go, we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 rolls right there. Nothing on those end. And nothing special on those end. All right. Here's what we'll do. We will do some car wash quarters. I'll pull out a good chunk of those. And then we'll maybe do a couple penny rolls right in the middle there. Perfect. All right. We got some car wash quarters. We got 3 in there. Oh my gosh, River of No Return. I would have loved to have that as a W. So, car wash. We've got in this bag here. Again. There's our car wash quarters. We've got 60 bucks in there in car wash quarters. So I will grab a handful and roll with it. All right. Last night, this is the first time I pulled from that car wash, and I only got 40 bucks out of it. And in that $40, I got a Susan B. Anthony dollar. So nothing special about the year or anything. And I got a W. I got this National Park W. So those came from this car wash that we are pulling from right now. And then, of course, last night from the laundromat, we got this major paw error. The Susan B. Anthony is a 79. Looked it up. It doesn't have a mint that's anything special. Hey, thanks for the roses. I appreciate that. Gifts are always great. you guys are enjoying the stream, it doesn't cost anything. If you just want to hit tap the screen a bunch of times, fill up a little bar right up here at the top. It takes 80 taps pretty quick. And that helps us get to that For You page, gets us some more followers, gets us the opportunity to kind of grow the stream here, because this is something I intend to do daily. The 79 Susan B. Anthony is, I believe it's a P. It's a really beat up one. Nope, it's a D. It's a filled in D. $89. Come on, W. That's a D. Oh, Tallgrass Prairie 2020. That one could have been a W. If that was a W right there, this quarter could be worth some money. 20 bucks or more, potentially. There's another D. Tuskegee Airmen. Again, looking for any anomalies in the goggles up there. That's really all I glance at. Nice. Well, I will give it some more looking. Ooh. That goggle might have a little something. Let's see in the scope. Nope, that's how it's supposed to be. Nothing special. I'll do a little more research on the Susan B. Anthony, but like I said, regardless, to find a Susan B. Anthony amongst my quarters, definitely a plus. Heyo, thank you so much for the gifts. Again, I really appreciate it. I'm loving it. 1998, nothing special. Regardless of the year, I check the front and the back. On the back, you can have off-center striking, you can have doubling, you can find the Spitting Eagle on years that aren't 83Ps. But again, if you do find them on other years, they're not necessarily quote-unquote recognized for grading purposes. And I check the front, any of them for that S mint mark, even if they're not the 2019 or 2020, you can find that. I just ordered a 2022 Red Book. I have just been Googling everything prior to now. Hey, thanks for the flame. I appreciate it. P. And the present. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate those gifts, guys. First thing I did, again, I just started this 9 days ago. I went from 0 followers and no videos to where we're at today, getting our 1,000 followers overnight last night. There we go, American Memorial Park. Could have been a W right there. Hey, thanks again for the gifts. But in 9 days did all that. So I got the scope, I got kind of the setup going for this, and just wanted to get rolling. Man, another Salt River Bay. A lot of chances for W's, but no W yet. Just a matter of time. That's the last one from this little handful. Woo, Creekwater Outdoor. Thank you for the gifts. Mr. Mintmark, thank you for so many gifts. I appreciate it. You guys are kind of blowing my expectations. I've probably too many in that handful to be able to do. For sure. Everybody, thank you all for joining the stream. Ooh, what do we got here? We got a Kansas, and that's a pretty looking Kansas. Woo! Look at that. Usually they are scratched, beat up, worn. Ooh, look at that. No rust though on the Kansas. Again, you want to look at that buffalo hump. I don't see anything special there. But man, that one is pretty. That one is in great shape. And then on the front, if that T were faded and it said "In God We Rust," that would be an error. That would be worth $10 or more. But that is a good looking Kansas buffalo. That is the ugly Mount Rushmore. Not a fan of that guy. 25 cents. And Delaware. On this guy, we're going to look for a line coming out of the horse's mouth here. If I do find it, I will definitely move the camera to kind of show you guys what I'm looking at. But unfortunately, this one has nothing. Just 25 cents. I love seeing all the people joining as we kind of go through. Thank you, thank you. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please hit that follow button and tap that screen. Tap as fast as you can. See if we can get to that For You page. Takes 80 taps really quick. Fills up a bar here right where the name is at. after your first couple taps. Hey, thank you for the roses, Creekwater Outdoor. I appreciate the extra gifts. 2021, that's going to be a crossing to Delaware. I don't even look at those. I know there's some things that can be on there. An 83, looks like a P. Looking at for a line right out of the eagle's beak there. I don't see it. Nope. This one's got damage, but no spitter, unfortunately. Oregon. P. 65. 1 year off. If we got 64 or older, that quarter would be 90% silver. That guy would be worth $6 straight away. 85 year I was born. Good year. Thanks for the extra roses, Mr. Mintmark. I appreciate it. Here we go. Here's a 2020. This could be a W. Come on, W. Oh, that's just a D. We want that D right there to be a W. We'd have some extra value in that. That's a D. Nevada, okay. We're going to check the backside between the tails and legs and around the back legs of all these horses. For any extra material, that'd be a pooping horse error. Nothing on horse number 1, nothing horse number 2, and nothing horse number 3. Man, I'd love to get an error. I'd love to get a W. Let's get something. I want something to get some energy. We're only a couple rolls in, and then probably about, I don't know, $15 on our car wash quarters here. 95. 90. Come on, W. 60. We're finding a lot of 65s. Be great if we'd find a 64. Get some silver. Alright. Come on, W. Another 83p. No spit coming out of that eagle's mouth, unfortunately. Just 25 cents. The reason why I really got into this hobby too, in addition to just being relaxing and interesting, is the fact that it costs literally nothing. That's a D. It's a shiny D, Salt River Bay. Find it. It costs nothing but time. The worst case scenario is you buy a quarter, you get a quarter. So if I buy $100 in quarters, worst case scenario, I go back to the bank and I've got $100 in my pocket. So there is zero cost. Obviously, I bought some, things to help stream it and make it a little bit better for myself and easier to see everything. But all in all, there's the Bob Ross of quarters. Nothing special about that one, but looks like Bob Ross there. All right, that was it for that handful. Come on, car wash quarters. We had good luck last night. Let's get some more. Come on. Ooh, there's a Salt River Bay we're going to come across here in a moment. New Jersey. It's a D. That one's got a lot of unusual wear. But unfortunately, it's 25 cents. Not an S, not a D. That's a P. Oh, American Memorial Park. That's a 2019. That could have been a W right there. Another thing on this guy is you want to check that last flag for any doubling. If it looks like it's kind of three-dimensional, it can be a double strike. Common error with that, worth $5 or more. There's that Salt River Bay. Is it going to be a D or is it going to be a W? That's the mystery. Come on, W. Oh, another D, another D. I set all the Salt River Bays off to the side. I don't actually look at them while I'm streaming because it takes a while. There's like 5 different spots where they can have some extra material. So they can have errors in that mangrove tree. So I usually don't check those out until while I'm off stream because it just takes a while. And then if I find, ooh, another bicentennial. We are finding a load of those tonight. That rim is a little faded there too. That one's not a crisp rim. So, 4th bicentennial tonight. Although we're not finding errors or a lot of value, we've got some bicentennials that we are digging out. 74. It's a D. Yep, that one could have been a W. Come on, W. Check that one flag just to be sure. Another Salt River Bay, but that one is just a D. Hey, Creek Water Outdoor, thank you so much for the roses. Thank you for the gifts. That's a D. 2020 could have been a W. We want that W. Come on, W. 95. I have not found any silver, or I haven't found a single S-mint mark in the 10 days I've been doing this. In fact, I've found 4 W's, no S's. And I have not found any silver in the bank rolls or laundromat or car wash quarters. The only silver I've found have been in change at the retail store. So obviously they come in rolls. That's where they came from originally. But I haven't found it in any of the rolls I picked up from the bank. Good question, though. I would love to see one. I would love to get one in one of these rolls. Ooh, Homestead. We've got a few things we can look for. We're going to look for snow on this roof. We're going to look for snow by this window. We're going to look for a reflection of this pump handle and a leaky bucket. I'm not seeing anything immediately. And I will again show you guys what I'm looking at if I do find one of those errors. Unfortunately, this guy has nothing. In fact, I do have one that has both of those errors. And if you follow my page, you'll see a video on each of these when I found them. Oops. I'm gonna have to get a little bit better system here, but again, there's the camera on the computer. So first things first, this is the snowy roof error. This is not the best example, but you can see this extra material right here. That's snow on the roof. This one doesn't have much of it, but definitely enough to be an error. So I set it off to the side. This is my leaking bucket. So if you look at the bucket on this one, this Homestead, there's a lot of extra material down here. So that is a leaking bucket error. Sometimes it's attached to the bottom of the bucket. Sometimes it's not there at all, but definitely an error. Again, love finding those errors. That's what we're hoping to find in some of these ones that aren't our 2019 and 2020 W's. If we can find those errors, they can be worth a good chunk of money. Or what I'd love to do is, as we kind of grow the channel, I'd love to be able to give those away to viewers. 65. Nothing special. Indiana. Nothing there. All right. There we go. All right, we're going to do another handful of car wash quarters. Keep that train alive. See if we got nothing from the profile view, except this guy's really corroded. So we've got one that has seen the car wash probably one too many times. There we go, 95. Go. All right, there's that river and no return. That's that W I want. 2019. This one's a little dirty, but just a D. But man, if that one was a W, even in that condition, that'd be about $5 or more. Another 2019. Again, a little beat up, but we're looking for that W. Come on, W. Ooh, that guy. It's not even worth really looking at. Give me one moment. I just need to brighten my screen. There we go. There we go. On my end, the screen was really dim. Made it tough to see some of the marks on some of these. That's a P. Oh, Wyoming. Again, we're going to look for some information. So what would you recommend to do if you're a newbie? Recommend to do in what regard? What to search for, or what to kind of buy, what to get started with? What? Go ahead and expand on that. What are you interested in is probably the better question. It's a D. Florida. Nope, that's a D. At a glance, I thought that might have been an S-mint mark, but nope, that one is just a D. Boy, this one has seen some wear. 2019, that could have been a W right there, but no W. Just 25 cents. There's a D, Missouri. River of No Return, 2019. Come on, W. Oh, that's D. Come on. Let's get a W. Let's get a good arrow. Let's get something. Not yet. Not yet. We still have plenty of time to go. We're just getting started. And we started a half hour ago, but we've got half our car wash quarters yet. We've got laundromat quarters. Ooh, here's a few things, although I don't see it on this guy. We're checking this date right down here. See if that's covered at all, as well as the big date, or not the date, sorry, those initials. And then the date to see if those are covered with any extra material. Again, don't see it on this one, so I'm not going to move the camera for it. But if I found it, I would definitely show you guys. How would you get started? Best thing you could do, honestly, is twofold. One, check your pocket change. Check, whatever you've got around. A lot of people keep coffee cans of change, or parents will keep coffee cans of change. You can go through that and look for anything. That's always good to go through. And you can check for W's if there's any new stuff in there. Again, check for anything 1964 and older. Anything 1964 and older is 90% silver. Those are worth $6 or more just based on the silver content. Plus they can have errors and other things that make them more valuable. Look for anything that's unusual or odd. So this one, I am not sure if it's a clad error because it weighs about the same as a typical quarter. But you can find clad errors in the more modern quarters. You can find, again, some of those errors that I talked about. And of course, on any 2019 or 2020, you can find that W mint mark right there. Less than about 1/2 of all the quarters in 2019 and 2020 were minted in that West Point mint. So they're super rare, very collectible. And even in poor condition, they're worth $5 or more. In better condition, they're worth $20 and up. So that would be my recommendation for getting started. You don't have to buy a microscope. You don't have to get a bunch of things to get going. Really, you just have to be interested in it. And then you can Google search like common errors on state quarters. That's how I found a lot of things. And then watch streams like this. You follow myself, or you follow anybody else that's kind of doing the same thing, and you can get a lot of information. And that's where, again, kind of even looking at this. So like we got this Connecticut quarter, a common error with this. I haven't found one, but I do know based on what I've seen. If you flip this perfectly up and down, if Washington's head is straight up and down, no error. This guy's worth 25 cents. Straight up and down, no error. If you flip this straight up and down and Washington's head is at an angle, then this guy is an error and it's worth a few bucks. But worst case scenario, it's worth 25 cents. You get face value, so you're not losing anything. Just take some time. And that's what I really, really enjoy about it. 2017. But if you've got anything, yeah, 100%. There's a lot of people that are really getting into it. Tuskegee Airmen, again, this 2021, not too much, but you want to look up in the goggles. You can find some extra materials or some things there. That's a P. This guy's just really dirty. Oop, Alaska. So again, this one, you can find, you want to look at that paw. You can find extra material in there. Super common error. This one is actually just a 5-claw paw. So this is what it's supposed to look like. But again, I'll take the camera and show you what I'm looking at on this guy. And that is what it's supposed to look like. To give you another example, which again, I've got a bunch here of varying degrees. This one, I found not too long ago. We look at that paw, and we got glare there. Got a ton of extra material between those last 2 claws, and so that makes it an error. That's pretty common on these guys, and it's worth, a buck or two. You find someone that's interested in it, and you make some money. Nice, 9 out of 10 W's, congrats. I would love to have 9 out of 10. I have found 4 W's in the last week and a half. Probably have gone through, I don't know, 700 or 800 bucks in quarters. I haven't bought like cases of them like some people have. I found 4. And I have a duplicate Lowell. So I have a Lowell 2019, 2 of those rather. I have 1 Salt River Bay. And then I have this one that I found, which is the American Memorial. Again, that's what we're looking for. That W right there, unfortunately, this guy has this big scratch right up here. So that really takes from the condition. But that W is what makes this rare and worthwhile regardless of what's on the back. Any 2019 and 2020 can have that. Hey, Firefighter25, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. All right. Where have you found your W's, Mike and Crystal 76? I know you said you have 9 out of 10. Are you just finding them in change? Are you searching through rolls? Or are you coming up with them? Welcome, welcome. Anybody that's joining the stream. I like seeing all the names saying that we've got some joiners. Not having much luck yet tonight, but we definitely can get some car washes and work. Absolutely. And it's not even limited to just coins. So I got into coins about a week and a half ago, and then I'm literally at work the other day and found this $1 bill. I have looked at no bills at all, but I'm like, huh, that looks really interesting that it's 222-88800. And just having that unique serial number, I decided to grab it, you know, put $1 in the register, took this dollar out, and then posted it to a Facebook collecting group. And someone offered me $8 for it just straight away. So, you know, anything that's interesting or unique, there's collectors out there for it. And again, it cost me nothing. That's what I love about this. There's no real cost other than time and just using your eyes. W? Nope, that one's a P. Come on, W. Still a good chunk. We probably have a good, man, 25, 30 bucks of these car wash quarters left. So we'll continue going through the car wash quarters. And then again, we have $60 of laundromat quarters. We have 3 rolls. And then we have a big jug of miscellaneous unsorted change that came from my in-laws' house that we can go through if we want to. We have all sorts of kind of options or things we can do. Nothing off to the side of this, but that's okay. Ozark Riverways, nothing special. 25 cents. 95. Find a lot of 95s. 69. Nice. You always gotta throw in the nice when you've got a 69. The immaturity. Love it. 2019. Come on, W. D. Yep. Do that all the time too. Just being a Sunday, don't have a lot. So we started with 5. We've opened 2 already. We've got 3 left. And then we've got some rolls of pennies that we can go through if we come down to it. But yes, I typically buy about 100 a day in rolls from the banks. Again, some areas, my local area, they said that the Fed has limited the amount of quarters that they can purchase from their distributors. The Fed, if you look at the website, says there is no coin shortage. Come on, W. Nope. I think the issue is with the distribution, like the Loomis and the Gardas and those kind of companies. So there is a toughness, and some banks are restricting the amount you can get. But I've been able to get anywhere from this might have some things, anywhere from $20 to $40 any given day from any given bank. And I bank with a couple of different banks. None of the common errors on that guy. But again, you're looking for snow on the roof on this guy. Anything around those 2 windows, extra reflections. or anything underneath the bucket. Nothing on this. This one can't be a W. This one's just a D. Salt River Bay, come on, W. Oops. If I can hold on to it. Nope, just a D. So many Salt River Bays, all of them Ds, except one. I found one W. Go back 4 quarters. Oh, Lord. I got a D there and a D there. Those are the only 2019-2020s that I see. Both of them were Ds. Not seeing anything that could have been a W that is a W. Hope I didn't miss one. Hello, Quan MD. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Creekwater Outdoor, thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate the gifts. Again, I have a duplicate LOL W quarter I am going to give away. Yep, 2020. That one could have been a W, but that one is a D. And the top 5 gifters for tonight will be entered to win that. Ooh, that's a shiny one. Just a D. Oop, that's why, because it's 2021. Totally makes sense. It's a new quarter. Welcome, welcome to the stream, everybody. If you guys are enjoying it, best thing I would ask you to do is just tap that screen. Just tap, 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 2 thumbs or 1. 80 quick taps right in a row fills a little bar up here at the top. After your first few taps, you'll see that bar slowly fill up. Once you get that full, that gives us the better chance to get to that For You page so we can get more people in here. Oh, that was just a D. We want to look at Mom's Nose here. There can be extra material there. And then we want to look at Unum on this side. And America in American Samoa over here. You want to look for any doubling. And this one is tough because of the way it's minted anyway. It can look like it's off. So those ones I usually give an extra glance because I like to shift the light around a little bit. But that one did not look like anything special. Another handful of car wash quarters. Let's go. I'm going to empty this bowl out here. Alright. We're going to start with a Connecticut right here. In Connecticut, we hold straight up and down and flip it. Well, welcome back, Mr. Mintmark. Unfortunately, you haven't missed anything. We are striking out so far. Still working on the car wash quarters. Probably about 2/3 of the way through. Probably have another about 20 bucks or more. Oops, Salt River Bay. This could be a W. It's 2020. Come on, W. Oh, just a D. Just a D. Looking for those W's. It's a D. P. Yep, we got 3 rolls left still. We got through the first 2 and then switched over to the car wash quarters. So we still have $60 in laundromat quarters and 3 rolls of bankrolled quarters. 2017, nothing. We've had a few opportunities for errors, but haven't come across any yet. But looking for these W's. P. Not even getting a lot of opportunities here. P. 2017. Oh, Bicentennial. It's our 5th Bicentennial, though. We are hot on Bicentennials. It's our 5th one. This one has pretty much the full rim there. So, getting that. Salt River Bay, 2020. No W, but if that D were a W, this quarter would be worth about $20 or more. Maybe a little less. A little worn there, but it's okay. Louisiana. 1990. There's a 2020. That could be a W. Nope. Finding a lot of Denvers tonight. Almost all Denver. That's a Denver. 21. That's going to be crossing the Delaware. In fact, once we get through these car wash quarters, we'll go ahead and do another roll. 2019. River no return. This is the W I really want. This one's a bit worn, beat up. But just a D. Just a D. That's the W I want more than anything. Creek Water Outdoor, thank you so much for the fire. Appreciate it. Salt River Bay. That was another D. That one's a bit beat up. That's okay though. 91. Again, looking for 83s with a P mint mark. Those ones have a chance for a spinning eagle. P. Voyagers. Nope. Nothing that handful. Probably three more handfuls coming out of these car wash quarters. Oops. So, still a good chunk. Probably about 20 bucks left in there. Oop. So, effigy mounds. The only thing I really look for on this is you can get off-center strikes, so you want to make sure that it's perfectly centered on the circle there, and then just look for any extra material over here by the mouth, and you can have a spinning bird down in the corner there, and that's one you can usually see eyeballing it. You don't need a microscope for that guy typically. Ooh. Oh, that one's not a W or anything special. 73. Alright, I will keep my eyes open. If I find one, I will send you a PM and we'll see what we come up with. Ozark Riverways, nothing. Come on, W. There's a Salt River Bay. That one's a D. Got another stack of Salt River Bays here. Pretty sure we find that one more than any other quarter in our rolls here. What's my rarest? I don't know. I don't really have a lot yet. I mean, I've only been doing this for 10 days. I have some old collecting coins from when I was a kid that I would do, like with my stepdad when I was younger. Probably have more rare stuff in there than I do here. I mean, I have a couple of Homestead errors. I have a Delaware Spinning Horse, and then I've got 4 of the W's, and then I've got 2 silvers that I've found so far. Honestly, the $1 bill I found the other day is probably technically valued more. I do have 1 Franklin $50, and then I have something that I'm interested in possibly going through on stream. Where do I have it? Let me grab. Where did I set it? So I've got a bag full of stuff that my father-in-law gave me to look at, and it's got a lot of silver change and old things and oddities that he set off to the side. So we will take a look at that stuff because he doesn't have it sorted in any way. Probably the biggest surprise in anything I found, honestly, was just the fact that I found this Susan B. Anthony dollar in my car wash quarters from last night. It's not worth anything particularly, but that was probably the biggest surprise as I pulled that out. It was one of the first things I found in the stack. It's the better South Dakota quarter. Unfortunately, nothing to look for from a rarity standpoint. Crossing the Delaware, it's a 21. Colorado, again, you want to look for any extra material on the side of the mountains here between that and the edge, and then look for any doubling in the writing down at the bottom, which doesn't look like we've got anything. A colorful Colorado. And that one's pretty obvious. You can actually see that one pretty good even without a microscope. So that one's pretty obvious when you do come across it. That guy's seen better days. I don't even know what that one is. Nope, nothing. 91. We want an error, we want a W. Come on, let's get something. 83p. Nope. That one could have been a Spitting Eagle, but nothing really. Nope, that's just damaged. I have 4 W's. I have 2 lulls, 1 Salt River Bay, and then last night I got this American Memorial Park. Again, as we're looking through any 2019 and 2020, we're looking for that W mint mark right there. That's what we want. There's a lull right there. Salt River Bay. And another lull. That's where we got them. And again, we've been doing this for 9 days. So definitely still young in the big scheme of things. But I saw it. Saw someone else doing it. Thought it looked interesting. And before I started, literally all I had that was worth mentioning were just these 2 that I had found in just retail change. These 2 silvers. They're 90% silver, just in silver value. They're worth over $5. Arkansas, nothing. And nothing there. Welcome back, TX Torn. 72. I would love to get either a W or an error. This is pretty tough. In fact, we just have 1 more handful out of the car wash quarters. Then we'll do our 3 other rolls from the bank. And then we will do our laundromat quarters. Oop, dropped 1. 72. This one's just an eagle. Doesn't look like anything special. Nope. Come on, W. 2019 War in the Pacific. Again, if that D were a W on this 2019 quarter, that guy would be worth probably 10 to 15 bucks in that condition. It wasn't the best, but not bad. 91. Connecticut. Again, we hold Connecticut straight up and down, and then give it a flip 180. And then if Washington's head is not straight up and down, if it's at an angle like that, there's an error, but this one was straight up and down. It's worth 25 cents. And then on older guys, 64 and older are the ones that are 90% silver. Looking for 64 and older. You guys dirty. W. That's a good looking 2014. Unfortunately, no W. No S's. So far as an 83p. Nope. No Spitting Eagle on that one. Oregon. Last 2 in this handful. And we got 1 more handful from our car wash quarters. Come on, W. Oh, nope. Nope, 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 nope. No W there. Alright, last handful from our car wash quarters. Last night must have just been a fluke, that luck we had, but that's okay. We still have a lot to go for the evening. Moving on with a W. Ooh, Wisconsin. Here's a little different one. So we look at our wheel of cheese. We want to look between the cheese and the leaf there. See if we've got any extra leaf errors. This guy does not, unfortunately. And then we look for any doubling on the writing, and nothing there. So this one, again, no errors, 25 cents. Salt River Bay, is this going to be a D or a W? Come on, W. Oh, that one's a D. Still hunting for that W. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, best thing you can do, tap that screen, 1 thumb, 2 thumbs, doesn't matter. After your first couple taps real quick, you're going to see a bar up here. Fill that up. Once that fills up all the way with 80 taps, that helps us boost to that For You page. Get some more people in here. If you are enjoying it, I love to see that. Again, best thing you can do to help us grow. I am in the Midwest. I am in Iowa. Kind of right on the Iowa-Illinois border currently. Arkansas. Come on, W. 81. Alright, TX Torn, I appreciate you hanging out, and I appreciate the luck. That's what it's all about. I'm sure I'll catch you next time. I'm going to be doing this every day. Again, effigy mounds, looking to make sure, one, it's centered. Want that circle to be right in the middle there. And then we're going to look to see if there's any extra material down here. And I just double check on the scope. If I come across one on the scope, I will definitely pull the camera off and show you guys what I see. The Bob Ross quarters. But unfortunately, no errors yet to show off. I am going to be doing this every day. It's a 2020. That P could have been a W, making this worth money. And again, I've actually been doing it every day. I just haven't been able to do it on TikTok because I didn't have 1,000 followers until last night. But yes, every day. So typically, I do it a little bit later in the evening, but it's not always at the exact same time because I do work in retail, so my hours do kind of vary. And then on Mondays, I do also live stream some mystery box openings. So I do change it up a little bit on Mondays, but I might do some coins as well. Perfect. Well, I usually am doing my streams around 10 p.m. Central Time. Did it a little bit earlier tonight, being a Sunday. I wasn't sure exactly how much I was going to have here, but so far, all right. Can we get some poop? Can we get some poop on a Wyoming? We do not have any poop on this Wyoming. We got to get some errors. We got to get something. Let's go. Come on, W. Last 2 quarters in our car wash quarters, and then we're going to do a couple rolls. Nevada, let's get some poop. We love those horses. Those horses give us chances for poop. And by poop, anytime you have one with these horses on it, ooh, we do. We have some extra material on this guy. We've got a pooping horse. So star notes on bills, which I don't do too much with bills, but star notes, just so you're aware, basically mean that there was an issue with the bills, and so they destroyed a bunch of them. There's actually a website you can go to, you can Google it, and it's a rarity checker for star notes. And if you do that rarity checker, it'll tell you how rare your bill is, and then I'd recommend checking out a Facebook collector site. So, to show you what I'm looking at here, normally on these horses, you can find errors between the tails and the bodies, or in this one, we got this extra chunk of material, it's called cud, on these legs. That is an error on this guy. We finally got our first error of the night. I honestly don't know the URL for the website. I I would do a Google search, and I'm sure you can find it. Just look for like a Star Note rarity checker. Do a Google search for that, and I bet you will come across it pretty easily. But we got our first error. Yeah, it is. It's like super obvious once you get it. Ooh, 2019 could have been a W right there. On this guy, look for any extra material around the 4 sides of the cross, and then there's some miscellaneous errors, but I always just look for that, and if I don't find it, I go ahead and just set it off to the side. And that is it for our car wash quarters. We're going to do our 3 rolls right here. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. I'll give you guys just a few seconds. I'm going to grab a quick drink. Type in a 1, a 2, or a 3 in the chat. So let me know which one you want to open first. All right, I see a 2. I'll give it a few more seconds. If anybody wants 2 for sure or something different. Okay, we got a 3. We got 2 3s. We got 2 2s. Can we get a tiebreaker? Let's get one more in there. All right, we've got a third 2. We're going to open this guy first, and then we'll go back to these, and I bet we will open that second one then. Again, if you guys are enjoying the stream, I appreciate any follows, and then, of course, if you guys can just tap that screen, tap, tap, tap. After you get a few taps, you'll see a bar start filling up at the top here. Once that bar fills up, 80 quick taps in a row. That helps get us on the For You page, get some more people in here. More chatting, of course, is always beneficial. A roll of quarters is 10 bucks, and it's 40 quarters. So just face value, you get it right at the bank. 40 quarters for 10 bucks. So worst case scenario, you've literally spent nothing because you buy them for 25 cents. You can turn them in for 25 cents. We got a nice shiny one right there, but nothing too special. And if you find an error, you've made some money. If you find nothing, you've lost nothing but time. So that's why this is such an exciting hobby, because it doesn't have any cost associated with it. Welcome, welcome, everybody that is just joining us. We're looking for the 2019 and 2020 Ws. We want quarters that look like this guy right here. We want that W mint mark. About 1/2% of all the quarters minted in 2019 and 2020 have that W mint mark, making it super rare. Collectors are looking for them. So even this one with that big scratch there in this condition, probably worth about 10 bucks or more. If you find the right person, 20 bucks plus. So definitely a lot of opportunity there, but that's what we're looking for. We're just going through rolls from the bank. We've got car wash quarters. There's my River of No Return. This is the W I want more than any other. That one is a D, though. If that D was a W, not only would I be extremely happy, that quarter would be worth probably 15, 20 bucks. If this were an 83P, we'd look for a Spitting Eagle, a line right there. So a lot of errors we're going to be looking for, too. If I come across them, I will look at them under the scope super quick. And if I see something that's worth pointing out, I will grab the camera and show you guys what I'm looking at. D, Wyoming. So this one, much like that last one, we're going to look for some poop, basically an error with some extra material on the backside of that horse. If you find one, definitely one to hold on to. Common error with that, but we do not have that. That can make that quarter worth 5 bucks or more if you find that pooping horse error on your Wyoming. Ooh, keep bumping the camera. Sorry about that. Again, everybody that is coming in, I appreciate it. Connecticut, we hold it straight up and down, and we flip it vertically. And if Washington's head is straight up and down after we flip it, I'm not doing the best job flipping it straight up and down. But if Washington's head is straight up and down, there's no error. It's worth 25 cents. If it were at an angle, we'd have an error, as is somewhat common with that. That could be worth $20 or more on that Connecticut quarter. So, Homestead. This is the one I love because it can have a lot of errors, and we might even have a leaky bucket here, unless that's just dirt. But we're going to check a few things. We're going to check this roof. We're going to see if there's snow on the roof. We're going to check the window up here to see if there's snow in that window. We're going to check the window down here, see if there's a reflection from that pump handle. And we're checking under the bucket for a leaky bucket. So a lot of things we're checking for on this guy. Again, if I find any of those on this quarter, I will definitely grab the camera, show you guys what I see. And, oh yeah, we definitely have a leaking bucket. Also might have some dings, but we've got a leaky bucket. I will tell you about the silver pennies here in just one moment. But again, look at that bucket. So this bucket has a lot of extra material and things down here. So we have a leaking bucket. There might be damage, or that might actually be manufacturing. But we've got a leaky bucket right there. That is an error. This quarter is probably worth about $5 or more just because of that one error. All right, so we found our second error of the night. Loving it, loving it. Sorry, I had an itch on my nose, but yes, steel pennies, 1943 during the war, World War II. The mint manufactured pennies with steel. What you want to look for are 1943 pennies, and you hold a magnet up to it. If it is magnetic, it's your traditional steel penny. It is worth about 3 cents. Really not spectacular. The rare find is a 1943 penny that is still made out of copper and would not be magnetic. And that would be the one that would be the rare find. That'd be worth a good chunk of change, even in bad condition, $100 or more. Alaska, we look at this paw. We're going to look for a 6-claw paw error. Unfortunately, this one has 5 claws in that paw, so nothing special. We're going to put that aside. It's 25 cents. There we go. Again, the 6-claw paw error, I find a ton of them. We found one last night. I've got 4 more that I found in the last week. Plus, I found one going through some loose change. That is the error that I have found more of than any other. I feel like it's about 50-50 whether I find a 6-claw paw error or not when I'm looking at those quarters. Super, super common error. 81. 85, the year I was born, good year to be alive. Nothing special for quarters. Once again, if you are, by the way, Blake Thilo 0, if that's how you say that, appreciate the follow. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please hit that follow button. This is going to be, oops, Salt River Bay. Look at that shiny Salt River Bay. If that D was a W, this guy would be worth $20 easily. Hey, Craze590, thank you for the follow. And then literally costs nothing. The great thing you can do is you can tap that screen. After a few taps, you'll start seeing a bar fill up right here underneath the name. And once you get 80 taps in a row, that'll push us to that For You page. That's how we get more followers. We'll get more chatters. People just enjoying the stream. And that's what it is all about, is that community. 2019, River No Return. All these 2019 2020s, that's the one for the W. Nope, that's a D. Bummer, I want that one. But if that D was a W, that guy would be worth some change, and I would be a very, very happy person, because that is the quarter I want more than anything in a W. Come on, W. Few left in this roll here. Few more left. That guy has seen better days. 67. 64 and earlier in quarters is your dates for silver. Salt River Bay, is that a D? They're all Ds. So many Salt River Bays. Look at this. You look over here, and I've got 3 giant piles of Salt River Bays in the last 2 days. That's 2 days of Salt River Bays. I find that quarter probably more than any other quarter in anything I look through, whether that is bank rolls, whether that is... Ooh, here we go. We got another chance to look for pooping horses. Again, we're looking by the tails and the hind legs of all three of these horses. Salt River Bay, to kind of give you, I don't like going through it in the when I live stream because there's a lot of it, but up here, over here, over here, over here, there can be extra material, kind of like what we're going to look for on these pooping horses. That extra cud can be in like 4 or 5 different spots around the leaves here. There can be streaks between the leaves and the mangrove roots, and then there can also be errors with the mangrove roots themselves. So there's a lot of errors and things to look out for, but you have to look at it in fine detail because these leaves, it's really tough to discern whether or not it's an error or it's how the leaves are supposed to look. So because of that, I set them all off to the side and I look at them off stream, and then if I happen to find one, then I look at it on stream. So I'm going to take a look at this guy, look at those horses, and if I find something, we'll definitely pull that up on camera. Nope, nope, and nope. All right, and that was it for that roll. Again, we've got 2 more rolls, and then we've got our laundromat quarters. So we're going to go roll number 1 or roll number 2. Roll number 1 or roll number 2. Type it out in chat, guys. All right. Couple votes for 2. 3 votes for 2. All right. We've got... I don't think roll number 1's coming back from this one. So we're going to go with roll number 2. Here we go. Let's pop it open. All right. And come on, W. We're looking for those 2019-2020 W quarters. Ooh, that might be a code error or it might just be a really dirty quarter. We'll find out when we get there. I'm not going to pull that one out of the middle because it doesn't look like anything too special. I'll grab this one from the bottom, which we knew was a Washington. P. Come on, W's. Nebraska. New Mexico, this one can have errors in that kind of cross pattern there. Set off to the side there. Whoa, I dropped a quarter. Oh, just dirt. Very dirty quarter. I am from Iowa. Thank you for asking. Voyagers 2018. Welcome to the chat, by the way. I appreciate it. Come on, W's. 89. Oh, sorry, I totally missed that question. Thank you for answering that, Mr. Mintmark. But we are looking for any 2018, or excuse me, 2019 or 2020 quarter can have this W Mintmark right here. If we have that W in a 2019 quarter or 2020, oh, welcome from Spain. I appreciate you joining the live stream. But about half of 1% of all 2019 and 2020 quarters were manufactured at that West Point Mint, making them very rare. Ooh, this side is super thick. Is this a 2021? No, it's 2014. This one feels really thick. I'm just going to set it off to the side. We're going to look at it a little bit later. Susan B. Anthony 79. There's nothing particularly special about it, except in my car wash quarters last night, it was in there. So I found a $1 coin in my quarters. So that was it. That was why that one is sitting there. That was one of my finds from last night. BC Fashion by Richard Carney. Thank you so much for the follow. By the way, guys, again, 1979 is good if it's a filament. Unfortunately, that one is a Denver Mint. I think I see silver on there, so I'm pretty sure this guy is just dirty. I don't think that's a clad error. I don't know. I'll set it off to the side and I'll double check. We can actually weigh that, and if it weighs less, then it can be a clad error. So we'll take a look. We will take a look at that. War in the Pacific 2019. Come on, W. Hola, amigo. Mi esposa es de Puerto Rico, así puedo hablar un poquito español. That's a D. It's a D. Come on, W. $95. By the way, for those of you listening in, I just said my wife is from Puerto Rico, so I can speak a little bit of Spanish. Finding a lot of those. D, Salt River Bays. Again, I set those aside. Took it later. Another 2020, Weir Farm. Come on, W. Oh, that's a D. Well, hey, we're on the same footing then. That's a nice shiny D. Tallgrass Prairie, and again, another 2020. So that's that mint mark. If that D were a W, look how nice and shiny that guy is. This guy would be worth probably 20 bucks or more in that kind of condition. I can read a little bit of Spanish, so I'm comfortable. If the D is a P, unfortunately, both Denver and Philadelphia are pretty common. Now, that said, Salt River Bay in particular, I've never found a P. I don't know if it was minted in Philadelphia. Wisconsin, we're going to look above this cheese to see if there's any extra leaves from that corn. And then we double check the lettering just to make sure there's no doubling errors. But this guy didn't look like anything special there. This one, no error, so it's worth 25 cents. We just put it in the pile. But yes, Denver and Philadelphia are your D and P mints. They produce almost all the quarters. W would be on your 2019 and 2020s in a very small percentage. So if that D were a W on this 2020 Salt River Bay, it'd be super rare and it would be worth some money. And then the other mint is San Francisco. They produce collector sets, so they're typically not designed to be in circulation. So if you find an S, that's worth holding on to as well, because they should not be out in the wild. We're almost through this roll here. We probably have about 5 more yet. If you guys are enjoying the live stream, please hit that follow button if you haven't already, and tap, tap, tap that screen. After your first few taps, that bar fills up. 80 taps later, it pushes us to that For You page. On this guy, again, we're looking to see if that circle is centered up. That one definitely is. And then looking to see if there's any marks down in the bottom left corner by the eagle. They call it a crying eagle, kind of, or a crying bird. Kind of what it looks like there. Last one in this roll. It's nothing. 91. All right. So we've got one more roll left. We can do that, or we can bust open our laundromat quarters. We've got $60 in laundromat quarters. What do we want to do? Do we want to do this last roll now, or do we want to save it for after our laundromat quarters? Type that out in chat. Are we doing a roll, or are we doing... All right, we're going to save that last roll. A couple votes for that. I dig it. All right, we're going to save this last roll. And we are going to bust open some handfuls of laundromat quarters. So we did our car wash quarters. We have found a couple errors tonight. Again, we found... Actually, it was my first Nevada pooping horse error. And then we found a Homestead leaking bucket. It's my second of those. So, glad you guys were here to share that one with me. So, I definitely have some exciting finds, but we're looking for that W. 1983, we want to look over, see if we have a P there. If we have a P there, we'd have a good chance for a spitting eagle, a line coming out of that eagle's mouth. But on an 83D, no error. It's worth 25 cents. That's a D. I'm going to pour this out so that if we come across something worth a double check, we don't lose it in the shuffle. It's a D. 21, that's going to be crossing to Delaware. It's a D. 2018, we want those 2019s. Come on, W's. Oop, there we go, another bicentennial quarter. That was in good shape. Nope, they do not. Banks do not upcharge for any rolled currency. So there are a lot of people that go through half-dollar rolls. They go through quarter rolls. You absolutely can buy them. Now, your bank may not have them just on hand. They may have to order it. Depends on which bank and a number of factors. But they will say quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies at face value no matter what. Banks do not upcharge. And you don't buy collector sets at banks. So, yes, a lot of people do have dollars. In fact, that's something I've considered getting into as well. Especially as quarters have been a little bit tough to get. If that P were a W on this guy, that would be just like this one that I got last night. Again, that one is a little bit shinier. But that W mint mark is what we want. Guess we'll keep it that way. Come on, W. The only thing is right now too with change, banks do require you to typically be like a member or have an account there. I have $60 from the laundromat. So I had $60 from the car wash, $60 from the laundromat, and then 5 rolls of quarters to go through. And plus I have a jug full of random change. Ooh, our first Minnesota. So we're going to look between these two trees right here where there's this bigger gap. And if you find any extra shadows of trees, that's a common error with those. This one I think just has some pitting there. I'm going to set this one off to the side to look at later. Because I don't think we've got an error. I think it's just pitted and it happens to be in that spot. I know quite literally nothing about foreign coins. I know I've found some Canadian coins in some of the finds that I've had, but aside from that, I know nothing. Hey, Cody Justice, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. 2020, come on, W. Oh, that's a D. We want those W's in 2019s and 2020s. There you go. Follow Mr. White, sounds like, if you want to know a little bit more about some foreign coins. And that was just our first handful of laundromat quarters. There are plenty more where that came from. We have $60 to go through. I will say we have found, what, like 6 bicentennial quarters? We're having a good night for bicentennials. Couple errors. Still looking for that first W. If that D were a W on this 2020 Salt River Bay, that gotta be worth $10 or more. Probably about 15 or 20 in that condition. First Prairie, thankfully that one's beat up, but it could have been a W. Nothing in the Glacier. 95. I feel like I find a lot of 95 quarters too. There we go. So Kansas. Again, we want to look at Buffalo Hump back here, see if there's anything there, which this one does not look like any extra material or doubling back there. And then we want the T to be blurred out here, to not be visible. So it says In God We Rust. If that said In God We Rust, that would be a $25 or more quarter. If it's totally not visible, $50 or more. Kansas is a good one to look at. You want those In God We Rust quarters. And welcome to all of you guys that are in the background. Want to find Russ? Yes, I would love to find one of those. I'm surprised I've not found anything on the Kansas quarters yet. Check them all, though. It's all a numbers game, so it's just a matter of time before you find some of these errors. All right, Washington, D.C. We haven't seen the first one of, or this is the first one. We haven't seen one yet. You're looking for the ELL in Ellington. Common error with this is doubling in that ELL. So this one you typically need to look for either really closely or under a microscope. And if that ELL in Ellington for Duke Ellington looks blurry or has that doubling, that is an error with that. Worth $5 to $10 or more. Nope, no W. Looking for 2020. Looking for those W mints. That's the big one right now. Everybody's looking for them. Come on, W. Save 2009. 2009 what? What's on the back of the 2009 so I know what you're referring to. 1965. The most quarters were made in 65. Hey, Tay Upsall, thank you so much for the follow. The one I just tossed. Another Salt River Bay. It's a D. I looked at it under the microscope. So I glance at it and then I look at it on the microscope quick. And so if I found it, then I would set it off to the side. Clinton Rife, thank you so much for the follow. Where can you sell them at? It's a good question. I actually made a video about it. I'm actually going to make a second video. You can sell them on Facebook groups. You can sell them on eBay. You can sell them to coin shops. Jim Hippensteel, thank you so much for the follow. Looking for doubling in that flag there in a 2019. Could be a W. Nope, no W. You can sell them. There's a couple of subreddits, and that's what I'm going to make the video on, is other places online where you can find those. Rock and Rooney, thank you so much for the follow. And nothing in that handful. And then I guess Etsy is actually a place where you can find, or where you can find buyers for some of the particular quarters. How do I only have 1.1k, what's that, followers? That Redneck Official, thank you so much for the follow. 72. I just started 9 days ago, 10 days ago, however you want to phrase it. So my first video was posted, at which time I had 0 followers, and that was last week, Friday. I had one video. I decided to do kind of common errors to look for, and then I did a quote-unquote part 1 because I knew I was going to do several. Coin shops, I mean, they are typically in the market to make profit. They're not typically collectors, so yes, they will probably give you less than what they're actually worth. Facebook groups are fantastic. I found this $1 bill. Just has a super unique serial number. I don't do anything with bills. I've never collected bills or looked at. I just happened to see it and thought it might be interested. Steel coins, 1943 steel coins are magnetic. But that unique serial number, I just posted the picture of it in a Facebook group and had someone offer me $8, like just straight away. So the Facebook groups are great because those are collectors. Those are people that want it for their collection. So those are going to be people that aren't going to typically lowball you, or if someone does try to lowball you, other people will call them out in the groups. But yes, there's Redbooks, and you can do Google searches and research online to find out what a coin would be worth before taking it to a coin shop. But if you have a lot, you can always kind of ask folks online. So all really good questions. 2020, come on, W. Oh, that's a D, and thankfully, because that front is yikes. That's awesome. Oh, we got a bicentennial. This is a good condition one. Bicentennials are just worth 25 cents, but if you get a full roll, they're worth a few bucks extra. And again, I found that many bicentennials in just over a week and a half of doing this. Yes, the Red Book is really great for US coins. In Facebook, I think it's like coin collectors buy and sell, or coin collections buy and sell. If you do a search for it, you'll typically have to request to be added to the groups, but they'll accept you as long as 2019. That's got some discoloration. But that, if that were a W, it would still be worth something. Even with that, probably $5 or more. But unfortunately, no W. But yeah, they'll accept you. They'll ask you if you're wanting to buy or sell. You can put in there that you're wanting to sell. And, ooh, another bicentennial. Man, that's like our 8th bicentennial tonight. We're getting lucky there. Restful Saturn, thank you so much for the follow. But the current hotness is this guy right here. We're looking for 2019 and 2020s with that W mint mark down there in that corner. Any 2019 or 2020 back with that W is worth a chunk of change. Even in bad condition, they're $5 or more. In better condition, they can be $20 on up. That is what you want, though, are those 2019 and 2020 Ws. That's what everybody is searching for at the moment. Hello, hello, Restful Saturn. Thank you again for the follow. Guys, if you guys are enjoying it, again, please, I appreciate all of the follows, but tap that screen. Tap, tap, tap. After your first few taps, you'll start to see a bar appear up here, and keep tap, tap, tapping. 80 taps later, that bar will fill up. Once that fills up, that can put us on that For You page, get more people in the channel, and more people viewing. It's the best way for us to grow. Costs nothing other than some just clickety clacks of the old thumbs. Homestead, so this guy can have a lot of errors. Again, I'll look at it under the scope right now, and if I find it, I will grab the camera and show you guys what I'm seeing. So, nothing, 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 and nothing. So this guy, you're looking in 4 different places though. On the top of the roof, you're looking for what's called a snowy roof, where you have errors there. You're looking at that top window, a bird's nest on top of it, or a snowy window. You're looking for a reflection in that bottom window of that pump handle, or what's called a leaky bucket. We just found a leaky bucket not too long ago, which is just extra material underneath that bucket there. So Homestead can have a lot of errors. Good one to take a look at, whether you're looking at it under a microscope or using your eyes. Guy Crone, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. No W's yet tonight, though. Come on, W. That was a 2020. That one could have had it right there. If that D were a W, it's got to be worth some money. Granny got a gun. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Arkansas. 21. That's going to be crossing the Delaware. There are some CUD errors and things you can come across in crossing the Delaware, but I typically just kind of ignore them. I found a full roll of them. I do look for the S quarters as well. I have not come across any yet, but yes, if you find an S, those weren't intended for circulation, so also very rare. Your bank only lets you get 2 rolls a month? Yikes. I've been able to get 2 rolls a day at minimum from the couple banks that I go through, and that's each branch. So another one of my banks has actually let me order quarters, so on a given day they'll let me get a couple. There's that Salt River Bay again. That D is the common guy, looking for that D to be a W. That'd be worth something. But unfortunately, with the 4th of July last week, I was not able to order a box of quarters as I normally would be able to. Harper's Ferry, this can have broken glass in the windows, particularly right there. And then I set them aside because, again, they can have other errors that are pretty common. So I look at them a little bit later. Wells Fargo only gives 1. Bank of America, yeah. Iowa, again, some things that you can look out for that I'm not super familiar with. So, yeah, there is some kind of scarcity. I think it's really more of a logistics shortage or issue, more so than an actual coin shortage. Chucky Khan, thank you for the follow. Indian Head pennies. I mean, they're old. They're 100. They're copper, 95% copper. So no matter what, it's worth, you know, a few cents in copper. But honestly, depending on condition and year and several factors, could be worth a few bucks on up. Minnesota, again, we want to look between these two trees right here. You want to look for any reflections or extra trees kind of in that area. Again, I look at these under the scope, and then if I come across any of those errors, then I'll grab the camera and kind of show you what I'm looking at. But that handful, nothing of note. We're not even halfway done with these laundromat quarters, though. So still lots of them going on. We still have one more roll of quarters for our rolls, and then we have some unsearched change for my in-laws that I've got. I don't know that the banks are causing shortages. I think the issue is with your armored car companies and the distribution. So like your Loomis, your Garda, like those kind of things. I think that's probably where the bottleneck is right now. I just don't think that they can get the quarters rolled and then distributed to the banks. Come on, W. That's a D. I mean, look at that. We've probably found 15 Salt River Bays tonight. It's got to be the most common quarter we come across. That's the better South Dakota. Come on, W. It's a D. Ooh, Alaska. We're gonna look at this paw right here, see if there's any extra material for a paw error. For a 6-claw paw. There is an extra chunk of material. Nothing special, but I'll show you guys. I wouldn't even call this a 6-claw paw, but definitely an error. Again, we've got an extra blob of material right there. That is an Alaska paw error. Oftentimes that whole thing is kind of filled in and it looks like it's overlapping, so it would be called a 6-claw paw, but definitely an error. In fact, here is a really good 6-claw paw I found the other day to kind of give you a better example of what that might look like. So again, oftentimes you get that blob of material that looks like it's totally overlapping. So then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You look like you have your fingers crossing like that. So that would be a 6-claw paw error. But again, regardless, we just found an error in material there. Probably worth $1 or more. It's one of the most common errors in the statehood quarters. But any error is worth holding on to because in theory, it's worth more than $0.25, and that is what we like to see. I have heard that, but I feel like if that were the case, I have gotten, Old Man Keith, thank you for the follow. I have gotten entire rolls of, that's an 89. At first I thought that was a 39. I got really excited because that would have been a 90% silver quarter. And the oldest quarter that I would have found in any of my searching. But just last week, these 5 rolls that I have left over on Thursday or Friday when I got them. Hey, BC Blalo, thank you for the follow, or BCB Lalo, not sure exactly how that's laid out. I found an entire roll of 2021 Crossing the Delawares. So that obviously came straight from the mint, hadn't been circulated at all yet. So there are coins coming from the mints. This one we hold straight up and down and flip it. If Washington's head is straight up and down, there's no error. This guy's worth 25 cents. Shout Local, thank you so much for the follow. 84. Looking for those 83s for a chance for a Spitting Eagle. Benaiah Thomas, thank you for the follow. Speaking of Crossing the Delaware, there's one. Voyagers. We want those 2019 and 2020 Ws. Do I know what a parody is? I know what a parody is. You are welcome. Unless you're Solo 4949, thank you for the follow. 74. Hello, Aiden does not care. Yeah, we're probably just over halfway through our laundromat quarters. But we probably have 4 or 5 more handfuls. And then we've got one more roll. Cthulhu 1999, thank you for the follow. 2019 American Memorial Park, come on W. Oh, that's a D. A 1964 silver D-Mint quarter. I mean, it's worth a minimum of $6 in silver value. I don't have book in front of me, so I'm not sure if there's anything beyond that melt value with that. But it's worth something. You want me to give life advice? Hey, user, thank you so much for the follow. Get the best price in bags of silver and dimes. Are you looking to buy or are you looking to sell? 79. If you're looking to buy, there's a user called Country Coins, I believe. There's a dash or an underscore or something in there. 6,900, nice. I believe it's Country Coins. He actually sells bags of dimes, bags of mixed coins that are all silver, that are kind of rescued from melt. Hey, there's a homestead. We're going to check this roof for a snowy roof. We're going to check that top window for snow in that window. We're going to check this bottom window for reflection and that bucket for a leaky bucket. Let's take a look. No snow on the roof. Nothing in that top window, nothing in the bottom window, and no leaky bucket. So nothing to put on camera for you guys there, unfortunately. That guy's just worth 25 cents. North Dakota. We want those W's. 2019, 2020. Come on, W. I believe it's Country Coins. I can get the exact name. Give me one moment. River No Return. Can we get W? Nope, that's a D. Hey, Patterson 125. Thank you for the follow. Geraldo Mage LaFerragem. Thank you for the follow. I have not found an S yet. Let me see if... I don't know how to... I don't know how to pull up names of other individuals. This is my first live stream. So I'm not sure how to get the exact name of the individual. But what I can do is I will jot down your name, and I will see about sending you a private message. If you want to send me a friend request or a follow, I will make sure I follow you back, and I'll see about sending you a PM if you have not already given me a follow. And when I am done streaming, I will, again, let you know the exact name of the individual, because he has a link in his description to buy and sell bulk. Puffer Bear, thank you so much for the follow. Chucky S. Khan, I appreciate it. I love seeing collectors of coins. Tuskegee Airmen. I just look for any issues up with those goggles, but otherwise I know there are other issues that quarter can have. I don't typically look for those, the 2021s. Hey, yo, Benaya. Congrats on finding that W. Which one did you find? Cal Stillinger, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Alabama. There's an 83. Nope, no Spitting Eagle on that guy, unfortunately. It could be, again, I know their TikTok handle is Country Coin, or Country Coins, rather. So it could be. And like I said, I know in their profile they have a link to buying and selling, or buying bulk silver coin. So that'd be my recommendation if you're looking to pick up some silvers. That's probably someone you could private message if you're just looking for dimes. I don't know exactly what they have. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we've got another handful of our laundromat quarters. So far, one error from this grab bag, I think. Actually, no, I think the Homestead error was from the rolls. So far, no errors from this guy. 1965 was the year that the most quarters were produced. So they are not worth anything beyond face value unless you happen to find one that is silver, which is extremely rare and would be extremely valuable. 48 quarters are made of 90% silver, so worth at least $6. Toothless626, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. There's a 2020. There's a chance for... Nope. Come on, W's. That's what we want. We want those W's. Again, I've been doing this for 9 days. I have found 4 W's. Jacob Disney, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Malt Camston, 53, thank you for the follow. Guys, I appreciate all of those follows. The 2020 back quarter can have a W, of course. If it has a W mint mark, it's good. And there's a few errors to look out for on that guy, speaking of. First and foremost, we're going to look for that W. Come on, W. Nope, no W. And then we want to look at the nose of the Mama Bat. That left corner can have extra material, have an error there. And then you want to look for any doubling in American on the left side or Unum on the right side. Perfect. If you found a 45 quarter, again, that is 90% silver. That guy is worth at least $6. Odd up. River of No Return. This is the W I want more than any other. Unfortunately, this one's a D, but if that D were a W, I would be a very happy person. And that guy would be worth some money. There's a D. Another Salt River Bay. The W, so if you look at this guy, that W stands for West Point. So that would mean it was minted in West Point in 2019 and 2020. About half of 1% of all the quarters, so less than 2 million per, were minted at that West Point mint. That makes them extremely rare. And collectors are looking for them. In rough condition, they're worth $5-6. They can be worth 20 to 30 in much better condition, and depending on which one you have. Hey, thank you so much for the share, Pacific Northwest. Peach, I appreciate that. Guys, while I'm grabbing the next handful of quarters from the laundromat quarters, if you can tap that screen. After your first few taps, a bar appears right up here. 80 taps later, that bar fills all the way up. That puts us on the For You page. And that gets us some more people into the live stream. So we can keep that chat going. William63, thank you for the follow. iPops27, thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate it. Hey, Cross8151, I appreciate you hanging out. And I appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much. I hope to see you next time. Guys, I make it a point to stream every day. This is the first day I've done so on TikTok because you have to have 1,000 followers in order to stream on TikTok. But I've been streaming on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook Live, so I've got all of the live stream platforms. I love doing this on TikTok, though. Ooh, I've got one on here that has a really smooth border. That could always be a potential error. The story on the 79 silver dollar. Good question. So yesterday, I bought from the car wash. And this was in my car wash quarters. So I made 75 cents yesterday, right off the bat without even having to look at it. Iowa. Unfortunately, nothing there. Well, hey man, I appreciate the compliment on Colorado. We're looking on the side here. We're looking for any extra material between the mountains and the edge of the quarter, or any doubling on the words Colorful Colorado along the bottom. I always just double check under the microscope, but this one is pretty obvious. If you can see it with your naked eye typically. Ashley Dever, 723, thank you for the follow. That's a 2021 crossing the Delaware. North Dakota. That one's pretty worn. Hey, I appreciate that. Tuskegee Airmen. Again, I look in the goggles for any extra material, but otherwise, throw them back. I'm super, super happy to be able to go live on TikTok. I was very glad and fortunate to get 1,000 followers in a week. What's the jar I have? You talking about this jar? I've got this jar right here that is full of bicentennial quarters. Otherwise, I just throw the back to the banks in a bowl here that is lined with a paper towel. Not sure if that's what you're referring to. Not sure. Those bicentennial quarters, again, that's just 10 days of accumulation. Pretty common. Technically, bicentennial is only worth 25 cents, but they can have errors on them that are pretty common. And if you get full rolls... Oh! I'll show you after this handful. I'll show you what that is going to be. Let's get a W. Come on, W's. That's what we want to see. We want to see those 2019, 2020. We want a W. Yes, come on, W. Sam Squatch 207, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. That's a D. South Dakota, that's a better South Dakota quarter. I like that one a lot better than the newer one. There's a 2020. Come on, W. Oh, that's a D, but if that D were a W right there, woo boy, this guy'd be worth, in that condition, at least 10 bucks. Probably more. Arkansas. Arches. And Oregon. All right. There was a line up there that threw me off, but I think it's just a scratch. So I'm going to have to show you guys what we've got left for this evening. So first and foremost, we have what's left of our car wash quarters. So probably another 2 to 3 handfuls there. We've got one more roll of quarters there. I do have pennies. We can always go through that. Hey, iPops27, thank you so much for the gift. Appreciate that. And then I'm going to spin around real quick. And from my father-in-law, pardon the mess on the desk here. Oh, can't really with cords in the way. I've got this big jug. There's not super full, but there's all of that unsorted change in there that we can go through as well. So we've got the opportunity to do some unsorted change that's just been accumulating for a good chunk of time. We've got one more roll, and then, like I said, probably a few more handfuls of we are looking for 2019 and 2020 W's, and we are looking for error quarters along the way. Good question. Hey, No Hype Coins, welcome to the stream. Got everything we've got here from Amazon, so with the exception of the computer and the monitors. But I've got a Tom Love 7-inch camera. Or excuse me, magnifying glass. I don't know why I said camera. And then we've got a ring light that my wife actually got for Christmas last year. She uses that for doing some streams and some things that she does. She does things with like makeup and some cleaning products and the such. Just casually with some friends. Crossing the Delaware. It's a 2021. Come on, W. That one is rough for 2021. That is the ugly Mount Rushmore. I don't know why they made that quarter. Not a fan of that guy. That's okay. Hey, iPops, thank you so much for the presents. I appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Ooh, that guy. Thankfully, is nothing special. 91. And then, guys, even if you don't have the gifts, that's totally okay. Best thing you can do for the stream, first and foremost, follow if you like the content, but then tap, 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 tap that screen. First few taps, you get a bar right up here by the name. 80 taps later, that bar fills up. That puts us on the For You page. We get some more chatters and people in here. It's an 83, but unfortunately it's a D. If that were an 83P, we'd have a good chance at a spitting eagle there. Not much in this handful. Max Cortez, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Oops, speaking of bicentennials, yet another one. Woo! I think that's like our 7th bicentennial tonight. That is way more. Yes. Good call out. So, I actually have 2 2019 LOL W quarters. Again, that W mint mark with the LOL back from 2019. So this quarter, I'm actually going to be giving away the top 5 gifters this evening are going to be entered into a drawing, and I'm going to give this quarter away to somebody that has watched the stream tonight because I do not need 2 of them. And I would love to give back to somebody. How do you know it's bicentennial? Well, if you look at a bicentennial quarter, which again, not particularly valuable, so I don't take extra care with them. But one, they have this unique back. Hey, Brandon Morgan, thank you so much for the gifts. And 1776 to 1976. So it throws you off. It looks like it has 2 dates on it, but they were manufactured in 1976. And again, have that unique back. A ton of them were made, so they're not particularly special. Hey, Brandon Morgan, thank you for the presents as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the gifts. I really appreciate it. Oop, Kansas. Here we go. We can look at this. So first and foremost, you want to look at the hump on the back. See if you find any extra material, any doubling on the back. And then we want to look at the front. If the T is not visible, if it says "In God We Rust" there, that is an error that is worth $25 or more. If it's totally not visible and in good condition, that guy can be $50 and up. Brandon Morgan, thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate all those presents. Guys, I appreciate the follows too. I appreciate the chatting, the hanging out. You guys have been amazing. My first live stream. Apparently I have this penny here. It's a 1970 penny. So that guy is 95% copper. That guy's worth 3 cents. All right, we got a really big handful, but this is the last of our, that's the last of our laundromat quarters right there. And we've got 1 roll. And then we will kind of go through what we want to do next. 1979, nothing there. Oh, Weir Farm helps if I spin it the right way. Is this going to be a W? That'd be amazing. Oh, that's a D. If that D was a W, woo, that would be a rare find. That guy would probably be worth 15, 20 bucks. Just like that. There's a D. Salt River Bay. So many Salt River Bays. Come on, W's. It's going to be crossing the Delaware. Hi, Pops. Thank you so much for the finger hearts. I appreciate that. You guys are amazing with the gifts. We've consistently had anywhere from 10 to 30 viewers, so thank you guys, thank you, thank you. 65, again, the most quarters were produced in 65. They have an extremely rare chance to be made out of silver, but they're typically the first year of clad quarters. Tons of them were produced, so they are typically just worth 25 cents. If you find a silver one, that is a rare quarter and worth a lot of money. So I know which ones have errors, and I don't even know all of them that have errors. There are a lot of the state and unique quarters that have errors. But I know from looking at other streams, watching other streamers, that might be a clad error. That's an 83. I think that's just dirt. I don't think that's a clad error. I think that guy is just full of oil. But from watching other streamers, you just kind of learn. And then also, if you just Google search common errors with statehood quarters, you'll find different websites will list different things. And if you follow my channel, I am going to slowly continue to share those errors as I come across them, share the values, the rarities, because I am putting together series. I think I'm on part 5 now, just went up yesterday, on just common, or not common, but rare finds in your pocket change. And I am going to just be sharing those one by one with everybody that follows me to give you guys insight on what to look for when you're looking through quarters and coins in general. It's a D. Salt River Bay. Ooh, that's a gross Salt River Bay. I'm not even going to look for errors on that one. So, 2020. If that P were a W, this guy would be worth a good chunk of change. Come on, W's. No W's yet tonight. But if we found one constantly, then it wouldn't be rare, right? Hey, B. Duffy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yes, come on, W's. Probably have about 15 quarters left in my hand from our laundromat quarters. Then we've got one roll left. Oop, bumped the camera. Sorry about that. 74. Again, if you guys haven't done so already and you're enjoying the stream, hit that follow button. Helps me grow the channel. Helps us get more people in here. Of course, tap, tap, tap that screen. Tap, 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 tap. Fill a bar right up here. Get us on that For You page. Let's get more people in here. 1965. Tons of them. Tons of 65s come through. It's a P. Not even many opportunities for errors in this last little bit. 68. With the old quarters, you're looking for 1964 and older. You got 3 W's today? Mike, yup, me. Share that luck. There's the Bob Rossa quarters. Where'd you get those? Did you find them in rolls? Are you looking through car wash? Looking through laundromat? Where are you getting your W's? 83. Oop, that's a D, so no spitting eagle there. Laundromat, yeah. I don't know if my laundromat goes through them. So again, we just went through $60. $60 in laundromat quarters here. Oh, there's a Kansas. If that T is faded on the other side, if it's not visible, that's an ungodly rust error. But nope. That T looks just as visible as the rest of the word. So that guy is no error. This guy's 25 cents. But if that T were not visible in trust, that guy would be worth 25 bucks and up. And Nevada. Looking at the horsebacks for any errors for some pooping horses. No, no, and no. Jimmy Snodgrass, thank you so much for the follow. Guys, we're going to open this roll of quarters. This is our last roll. And I'm going to grab a quick drink. So, again, if you guys could just tap that screen for me. Tap, 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 tap. fill this bar up here. Let's get some more people in here for the next few seconds. What's the W mean? So what we are looking for is on these quarters, any of them with a 2019 or 2020 date. Doesn't matter what's on the back. Thank you, Steffi. Spice It Up Parties for the follow. This W mint mark. Super rare. Only to forgive. Thank you for the follow. If you get that W mint mark, you've got a rare find. They can be worth 20, 30 bucks minimum, 5 to 10 even in bad condition. So definitely something. Hey, thank you so much for that paper crane, Mike. Yup, me. I appreciate it. Well, let me take a quick break. I'm going to grab a quick drink. All right. And guys, we've got 34 people in here, 35. Again, speaking of those W quarters, again, worth minimum in poor condition, 5, 6 bucks. We got this Lowell back 2019 that I just found a couple days ago with that W mint mark. The 5 top gifters, I'm going to give this quarter to one of those top 5 gifters tonight in today's live stream. Probably the best chances you will ever have to get something out of the stream because we are just getting started. This is the first TikTok live stream on my channel tonight. So I'm guessing we are going to get busier from here. And so any giveaways down the road are going to be a bit tougher. Yeah, I found, let's see, we found an Alaska Paw error tonight. We found a Nevada Pooping Horse error, and we found a Homestead Leaky Bucket. So we have some errors, just no W tonight. All right, let's go. Here we go. Last roll of quarters here. No silver. This guy's super shiny down here, though. I'm excited to see once we get there. We'll keep that in its place. So after we get through this last roll of quarters, we are going to go through some unsearched corn. Hey, Mike, yup, me. Thank you so much for the butterfly. I appreciate it. And is it Paulo's D. Sousa? I appreciate that. Follow. Rafael De Jesus, thank you for the follow. Hey, Chasa Moffat, thank you for the follow. Thanks, guys. So we're looking again. 2019's on the back and that W mint mark on the front. We do check the front of all of them, even if they're not 2019 to 2020s. Because we want to find S's. Was that Jermaine Kutugwa? Sorry if I'm killing names. Man, you guys have some unique ones. Hey, iPops, thank you for the flames. Weir Farm. So this 2020 right here, if I flip this over and there's a W on the front, then this guy is worth probably 10 bucks or more. It's actually really good condition, but that is a D. So that D right there is where we're looking for that W. That would make this a really rare quarter. Close enough. Yes. If you spell it out, W starts with D, right? That's what I tell myself a lot. But come on, W. Here's another 2020, but that one had a D. I prefer when I see that back first, because then it builds that suspense like this. That Weir Farm. We could flip this over. Like right now, in my mind, this is a W quarter, right? Come on, W. Oh, that's a D. Some really brilliant looking ones, though. Super shiny. Cumberland Island, no W chance there. We still want to look at all of them, see if we can find any S's or anything rare. No W. Florida. Come on, W. 68. Oh, I thought that said 63 at first, but it didn't look like silver, so 68. Oop, Homestead. So this guy has a lot of errors. So the W quarters were minted in West Point, Ladybug Puppet. They only did it for 2019 and 2020 and only did 2 million of each design, so about half of 1%. On this quarter, we're going to look for snow on that roof. We're going to look for any snow in that top window, reflection in that bottom window, and any leaking bucket. BRB, I have to dump someone. Uh-oh. Well, hopefully you're not doing it over text. I appreciate you stepping away from the live stream to do that. And unfortunately, this guy, no errors, so I'm not going to pull it up on the camera. But when we find the errors, I definitely grab the camera off the mount to show you guys. Tell you what I'm looking for first, and then when we find it, I'd like to show you 40 followers, or 40 viewers, excuse me. Where Farm is the only W you're missing. Nice. Corncob 88, share that W love, I appreciate it. So S is a rare mint mark. S quarters are made at the San Francisco Mint. So those ones are only made for collector's sets, so they shouldn't, in theory, be in circulation. If you find an S mint mark quarter, I mean, it's not even worth looking at the back of this guy for an error. That guy is yikes. Then definitely something to hold on to. AJ Leaguer, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Hey, another Homestead. This one looks like it's in pretty good shape. Let's take a look. No snow on that roof. Nothing in that upper window. Nothing in the lower window. And no leaking from that bucket. This guy is just 25 cents. Big Mama 18, I don't think I said it. Thank you for the follow. I almost missed it. Adrian R.6, thank you for the follows. I appreciate all you guys. That's going to be across in the Delaware. Nothing there. Wisconsin, we're looking for any extra leaf between the cheese here and that leaf there. Pack Attack, speaking of Wisconsin, thank you for the follow. There's a D. It's a D. Ooh, that might have been a really shiny guy, I think. Was it? Oh, nope, I think it's this guy down here that we're waiting on. Woo! 46 nickel, you were a year off. 45. 42 to 45 are the years with silver nickels during this World War II. Ladybug Puppet, thank you for the follow. Cryptic Nizko, thank you for the follow. And Matt Gimbin, thank you. Oop, another bicentennial. That guy's in really good shape, too. Pretty sure this is our 8th bicentennial that we found tonight. We are finding a lot of bicentennials this evening. And we are picking up some steam. We've got some people in the channel. Guys, if you like this, hit that follow button. And if you are watching, hit that tap the screen. A few taps in, you will get that bar to show up right up here by my name. And that will fill up after 80 taps. Get some more people in here. Finch for life, thank you for the follow. Bicentennials are worth a quarter in and of themselves. They're not that rare, but if you get a full roll of them, people will pay 13, 14 bucks for it. So worth more than face value. In theory, if you look at it as being worth 30 or 40 cents, you're making money. One Shubs, thanks for the follow. Papa for life, Richard Teague Jr., Dragon King, and Dohinaido De La Rosa. Man, that's a tough name to pronounce without spaces. Athletic Stoner, Young Scrappy Hungry, Danger Power, Pop Smoke, Pink Minion. Woo! Thank you for all of the follows, guys. Okay, Connecticut. We hold this guy straight up and down. Flip it. If Washington's head is straight up and down, no error. This guy's worth 25 cents. If we flip that and Washington's head is at an angle, if it's turned just a little bit, that is an error with this guy, and that would be worth some money. Firewalker 116, thank you for the follow. Doheny De La Rosa. Okay. Nothing there. Guys, just a few quarters left. This is all we've got left in the roll. Where can you sell the coins? I actually have a video. Facebook groups, probably the most popular option. eBay. You can sell them through some subreddits. You can sell them to coin shops or pawn shops. You're not going to get quite as much, but definitely options on where you can unload them, even for those values. 1997p. Daniel Carcamo, thank you for the follow. Unfortunately, that was our shiny guy. It was just a 2021 Tuskegee Airman, so nothing special about that guy. 85, year I was born. Good year for quarter, or good year for me, sorry. Not a great year for quarters, nothing special about it. Last few quarters. 79. Nothing. Can we get a W these last two? Yeah, absolutely. Happy to share. Arkansas. And last one in this roll. Idaho. Nothing. So nothing there. Yes, there are a lot of errors with the bicentennial quarters. Absolutely. Positive kindness always. Thank you for the follow. Amy, Caden, Gear or GYR. Quarters are, I mean, obviously it's very inexpensive. I mean, here are 8 rolls of pennies. It's $4. Definitely cheaper to go through pennies. A lot of errors to try to look out for. But it's really ultimately up to you. I don't know a lot about the pennies yet because the quarters are where I've started. So I know there are a lot of errors that you can go through and a lot of different things to look out for. Any penny that's 1981 and older, though, is made out of 95% copper, worth at least 3 cents. So in copper value. So definitely set aside any of your 81 and older pennies. Some of the 82s are copper, some of the 82s are zinc, so it just depends. But yes, thank you guys for all of the follows. I appreciate it. I'm going to grab a quick drink of my beverage, and I'm going to show you. We're going to go through this guy right here, where I'm going to go through and kind of sort out what we've got in there. And we've got some unsearched coins to look through. That is from my father-in-law to kind of take a look and see what he may have. So we're going to have a few things to take a look at here in just a moment after I grab a quick drink. If you guys could for me, tap that screen, tap it as fast as you can, fill this bar up here all the way to the top. Let's get some more people in here. We've got 72 people in the channel. Love seeing that. And of course, hit that follow button if you haven't already. Thank you guys for all the follows. And lastly, before I get into that, we do have this 2019 Lowell W Mint. So on the state quarters, any of them made in 2019 or 2020, you want to look for this mint mark right here, that W. If you find that W, it's super rare. I'm going to give this to somebody in the channel. The top 5 gifters tonight are going to be entered in and randomly select the top one, or excuse me, randomly select one of the top 5 to get this quarter. I'm going to mail it to somebody tonight. Somebody's going to get this quarter. Oh, nice. That, so Tallgrass Prairie, is that the one you're talking about with the butterfly? Yes, getting some viewers. I appreciate it. And guys, I am going to take out of this big jug and I'm going to put these unsearched or unsorted coins into a box here. And then we'll kind of grab some handfuls and we'll go through kind of one by one. Let me set a couple things up first. Thank you all for the follows. Again, to give a little recap on where we were tonight, we got this Alaska paw error, big thing there. We got this Nevada pooping horse error, and we did get a Homestead leaky bucket. So while we didn't get a W, and then these were my 3 finds from last night. I did a video on TikTok for them, but this guy was actually in my car wash quarters. So I found a Susan B. Anthony dollar in my car wash quarters, so instantly made 75 cents on that. We found this W quarter. This one was American Memorial Park, a 2019 W right there. So 1943 pennies. If they're sticking to magnets, that means they are steel pennies. They're worth about 3 to 10 cents, depending on condition, not too much. If you have 1943 that doesn't stick to the magnet, that's where you've got the rarity. And those were ones that were struck in copper, even though they weren't supposed to be for 1943. And then we got an Alaska paw error yesterday. Finch for life, thank you so much for the fire. All right, guys, I'm going to put the coins from this big jug into a box, and let's see if we can find anything interesting. This is unsearched, and this is all going to be a mixture. So I'm going to put them in the box, and then we're going to sort through and see what we've got. So bear with me for a couple moments. And if you are wearing headphones, this may be a bit loud pouring this out, so keep that in mind. looks like this is mostly pennies. So we've got a lot to go through here. In fact, I might just pick out a few things here, and I might have to sort this guy so we can maximize what we're looking at, because if I just go through all the different types of coins, it's going to be really tough. So let me see, just kind of at a glance, what do I see? So I do see some state quarters, so definitely not a lot that's super old right off the bat. You know what? I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to save this because I need to sort this. I mean, imagine trying to go through, hey, see you later. If you guys are leaving, I appreciate it. Too many pliers? Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a 50% chance on the pliers is really what it feels like. I wouldn't imagine they're worth more than $1 or $2, and I found, what, 7 in the last 9 days. But here is that unsorted change. I think I might sort this at least, and we'll look at it tomorrow. Oh, right on top, though, I do see this Delaware. Let's take a look at this guy. Let's see if we have a spitting horse, shall we? So we're going to look at the glass right there. On this guy, nope. We have this line right here. Unfortunately, this line here is not what we want. We want a line coming out of this horse's mouth going down to that A. So no spitting horse error on that guy. Ooh, a 2019 with doubling on the date. Because they didn't produce many quarters in general, there typically aren't a lot of errors to find on those 2019 and 2020. So good catch on that. But what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to grab another real small bag that my father-in-law gave me of things that he set aside that were unique. We're going to go through those and kind of see what we've got, see if we have anything interesting, because I honestly have no idea what we've got there. So I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to grab that bag. You have to give me about 30 seconds. Nino32100, thank you for the follows. If you haven't followed already, please do so. And I will be back in about 10 seconds. Let me grab that bag so we can go through the mystery bag. All right, guys. Last reminder here that this little 2019 W mint quarter, that W right there, this quarter's worth somewhere between probably $11 and $25, depending on how someone rates the condition. It's pretty good. Not a lot of anything major, but it does have a few spots, and it's definitely circulated. But somebody in our channel that's viewed is going to get this tonight. The top 5 gifters in the channel, that's 5. Top 5 gifters are going to be entered into a drawing. One of the top 5 gifters are going to get that quarter with that W mark. So feel free to send over those gifts if you want to be entered to win that. And then I'm going to be giving away a lot more stuff, so hit that follow button if you haven't already. And here we go, guys. Here is the mystery stuff. So my father-in-law had these things set aside that were his kind of unique and rare things. So we're going to go through and see what we've got here. He legitimately, I mean, there's a lot of silver in here, but there's also like some statehood things and things that I don't think are super rare. So if they are rare, we're going to take a look. And if they're not rare, then we will kind of look through and explore together. So we're going to go through these mystery finds here and see what we got. The Susan B. Anthony, I don't believe is worth any more than face value, to be quite honest. I just have it set off to the side again because it was in with my quarters. Kayla, Lemke, Michelle, Elizabeth, thank you guys so much for the gifts. I appreciate the love. And then, guys, Again, I haven't collected anything but coins. Woo! Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate those. But keep your eye out for any change you get. So this $1 bill I found at the store, and I don't collect dollars. I've never looked at dollars. And this dollar right here, look at that serial number, 222-888-00. Because of that unique serial number, someone offered me $8 just straight away for this $1 bill. And I just found it in change at the store. So you look at these W quarters, you look at these errors, there's just all of these things you can find every day that are just worth more than their face value. And the great thing is, to get started, it technically doesn't cost anything. You spend $10 on a roll of quarters. If you don't find anything in it, that's okay, because you just spent $10, you get $10 back. It costs you nothing but time. So that's what I love, as I've kind of gotten into this over the last week and a half. The fact that we can do these things and not have to worry about a big amount of overhead or cost. You don't have to have a microscope. You don't have to have big lights, any of that stuff. So anyway, we are going to go through this. And again, there may be some things that are super rare in here. Obviously, this guy is old and made of mostly silver. So this guy's a 90% silver quarter. Man, there are so many errors. I'm not even aware of all of them. So honestly, I have gotten a lot of my information from watching other streams, from following other individuals, and just from Googling, as I kind of got through and kind of gathered some information. So without further ado though, guys, this bag is stuff that for one reason or another my father-in-law set aside. So some things I'm probably going to have absolutely no clue as to what we have. Some things I will have some insight. And of course, I am also live streaming on other platforms, so I can't easily Google search. I have a lot of stuff set on my desk. But as we look at the state quarters and things that are in here, I don't know if he set aside the state quarters because he maybe wanted one of each of those unique quarters, or if he did it because he thought there was something there. He's not a coin collector. He just had set these aside. So let's go through it together. Let's go through the mystery and maybe sort out what we think is important and what we think is just kind of average. So let's take a look. Again, this guy very obviously is mostly silver. So 1944, anything 1964 and earlier is 90% silver. So that right there is worth at least $6 as it stands. When you have a coin that is mostly silver, it makes a totally different sound when it hits up against other coins. 000788833. Honestly, what I would probably do with that $2 bill, join a coin collector group on a Facebook group and take a picture of it. Say, hey, would anybody be interested in this? And see what people throw at you for numbers. If nobody expresses any interest, then it may not be worth too much more than face value. If it's worth a lot, then someone's going to offer you. So we're going to look at the Duke right here, the Washington, D.C. quarter. Again, common error with this guy is a doubling in the ELL in Ellington. Just a D quarter. This guy feels really light. No error in the Ellington. So again, like this is one, I have no idea why he set this aside, but it is his, and we'll take a look. This guy right here, I mean, I don't know if he just wanted one of each, and maybe these ones are in okay condition. Not exactly sure why we've got this, but there we go. We're going to go through all the quarters, though. We've got Fort McHenry, 2013. That's a P. Nothing special there. The other Mount Rushmore quarter, South Dakota. 1938 Buffalo nickel. That can have some value. Buffalo nickels in general tend to be worth a little bit, depending on the exact year and condition. You'd want to look at Google or a book to kind of take a look. That's a P. The ugly South Dakota quarter. I think that's probably my least favorite quarter design. I have no idea why they made that, because it looks nothing like Mount Rushmore. Common error with this American Samoa quarter, by the way. The whole front of this pool can have a grease error where it doesn't have that rim of the pool. That's definitely something to look out for if you have an American Samoa quarter. We didn't find any in our mystery quarters tonight, but yeah, something to check for on these. The old coins, yes, the Fort Henry can have the double fireworks. You are correct. Wow. Where did I have? I had one, right? Yes. And nothing on that guy. A lot of the old coins, I am still just learning. Again, I just picked this up 10 days ago, so this is relatively new for me. I picked it up because I saw other TikTokers doing it, so I'm still learning a lot. I started with quarters, so I know several of the errors with the unique backed quarters that came out in the 2000s, late 90s and early 2000s till now. And so we're just going through these. So we've already seen this one, so he wasn't just keeping one of each. Not exactly sure. 1941 nickel is 1 year off from being 40. Doesn't it? Does that not look like Bob Ross? To me, that is the Bob Ross of quarters right there. 100%. So I'm going to forever refer to that as the Bob Ross quarter. Looks to me like that. Probably dates me. Probably makes me a mega boomer. Not sure if everybody knows who Bob Ross is these days. So, if you guys see anything super unique, please let me know. So far, not seeing anything. Mr. Brooks, thank you for the follow. Guys, I appreciate it if you followed and I missed calling it out. I mean, there's some really brilliant and beautiful looking quarters. Thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube. Why is that down there? There we go. Woo! Alright, so that's an old dime. We're going to set that guy off to the side because that's something we're going to look at. Hey, look at all those follows. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to pick out the quarters, though, first because those are things I'm a little more familiar with. David Idaho, Cool Caden, Robert Brincat, Robert Works, 961. Thank you guys all for the follows. Oklahoma, again, nothing there. Guys, in addition to the follows, once again, if you are interested, our top 5 gifters, Hilario Toscano, thank you for the follow. Top 5 gifters are going to be entered into a drawing. One person is going to get this W 2019 LOL W quarter from tonight's stream. So one person is going to take this guy away. I'm going to send it out. Mike Yup Me, thank you so much for that gift. Appreciate it. Thank you for the perfume. Arches, again, nothing special about that. I mean, you could take them to the bank and exchange rate, but if you're looking for rarity things, honestly, I would join a group that buys, sells. Ooh, is that an error? That looks like a big... Oh, no, that's just a much better condition one than I'm used to seeing in rolls. That's just the Prospector. 200 pesos. Again, I'm just going through the quarters in here because I know a bit about them. That's a P. Iowa. Look at that guy. 2010. Hot Springs. You don't see that quarter very often. That's on the rarer side of the ones that I see in the rolls that I go through typically. That's a P. There we go. There you go. Paul Van Donkelar. If you guys shoot each other a follow, you can PM one another. That's a D quarter. Alaska, let's see if my father-in-law has a 6-claw paw here. Nope, that is a 5-claw paw, exactly what that quarter is supposed to look like, so no error on this, so I'm not going to grab the camera and show you, because it is exactly as it should be. 41 has a mint error with what looks like a D to the right side of the steps, so to the right side of the building is where the D was at, where the mint mark is on the 1941 quarters. 42 to 45, if they are 40% silver quarters, those ones would have the mint mark in a big letter above the building. Nothing there. Again, the ugly Mount Rushmore. Look how dirty these are. I've gone through quarters for, what, 2 hours and 40 minutes now, and these are absolutely disgusting. And, fun fact, the first couple streams I did when I first started 10 days ago, I wasn't wearing gloves, and someone really, like, called me out. And they're like, hey, if you find something that's worthwhile, you don't want to get any of your hand oils on it, because then you're just going to diminish the value. In fact, I think it was, like, the first of the little W quarters. If you look at my TikTok videos, I think it is the part 2 of rare coins you can find in your pocket change. I did that video without wearing gloves, and I think someone in the comments had called out, hey, like, wear gloves, man. You're, like, potentially damaging coins that are worth a lot. So that is why. That guy, 6984, thank you so much for the follow. Oop, this guy is silver, 1964 and earlier. That's why he kept this guy. So this one, since it's out of a sleeve, I'll show you. So if I take any two of these coins and shake them together, they have your typical coin sound. If one of these is silver, listen to this. Totally different sound shaking them together. That's an easy way to tell that you have a silver quarter, and that's exactly how I found my first silver quarter. I was just counting change at work. I work in retail. Lakika791, thank you for the follow, by the way. And heard that different sound, and I'm like, man, is there like a fake quarter in here, or what's going on? Took a look, and I'm like, man, that's really old. It was this guy right here. And sure enough, I took a look, and when I looked online, 1964 and older, any 64 and older quarter is 90% silver. They've got $6 in silver value straight away. So definitely worth setting aside or looking for any quarters that are 1964 and earlier. M. Harris, thank you so much for the follow. It's a D. That's a D. Georgia. That's a D. Smoke Nut. So, again, I'm not sure why my father-in-law set aside some of, basically all of these so far. We've got the whole first pile, other than the silver ones. Not found any errors. I mean, they're in decent condition, but nothing special on the ones that I found so far. Again, I'm going to go through all the quarters first. This Nevada, you want to check between the tails and the hind quarters of all three horses for pooping horse errors. If I find one, again, I will pull it off and show you guys. There's a chip, but no poop. Nope. No errors. Man, you can hear the silver as I'm grabbing some of these out of here. Speaking of, there's another silver quarter, 1943. Again, that's that 64 and earlier. That guy is 90% silver. There's that D, Alaska. Let's take a look at this, see if we got another paw error. Nope. Oh, that guy's got the expected 5 claws on his paw. Let's get some poo. Yes. That's what we want. We want those pooping horses. There's that P, Minnesota. Again, in Minnesota, in this gap right here between those, we're looking for any doubling or extra looking trees. Nothing on this one either. So nothing to look for on this guy. Just looking to see if there happens to be an S on any of these that aren't 2019 and 2020. And again, looking for errors on any of the ones that could potentially have errors. So far, nothing. It's one of the rarer designs, the Mariana Islands. Ellington, looking for doubling in the ELL in Ellington. There we go. Nothing so far. Hey, Jordan Mike, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Guys, if you are enjoying the stream and not already following, hit that follow button. It's the first live stream on TikTok, and definitely won't be the last. I've been streaming daily for the last 10 days when I started this endeavor. And I plan to keep growing on TikTok and keep it going. It's a D. Oregon, nothing there. The only thing that's a little different, on Mondays, I do mystery box unboxings live. So I will probably kick things off tomorrow evening with a mystery box unboxing, but I may follow that up with some quarters, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. Everybody has been super inviting. I don't think we're going to have any W's in these quarters because I don't think we're going to have anything that's 2019 or 2020. These are ones that my father-in-law had been setting aside for a chunk of time. Same with the big box of unsearched ones. They had been overseas for several years, so I don't think we're even going to have a chance for 2019 and 2020s in those, but we have a good chance for some errors. So this guy, we want to look for a line coming out of that horse's mouth for a spitting horse. Nothing on that. Man, I can't even find an error to show you guys. This is tough. Ooh, Alaska. That's our third Alaska in this little bag. But that Alaska has a perfectly shaped paw. Chris Chambliss, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Another Oregon quarter. Hey, iPops27, thank you for the finger hearts. Just about everybody that has gifted this evening. Top 5 gifters are going to be entered for a drawing for this W Mint Mark 2019 Lowell quarter. Pretty good condition. I would guess that the value of this probably somewhere in the 11 to 25 range, depending on how interested someone is in that quarter. But somebody is going to get that quarter at the end of the night tonight. Mike Yup Me, thank you so much for the rose and the perfume. And J. Jordan Mike, thank you for sharing the video. You guys are super helpful. Also, it doesn't cost anything. Tap, tap, tap that screen. After the first few taps, you see a bar appear where my name is at. That bar, after 80 taps, fills all the way up, puts us on the For You page. Mike Yup Me, thank you for the paper crane. We got an Indiana quarter here. So he definitely saved these because they're all state quarters, but again, not any errors, so I'm assuming he just kept them because of the design. Harper's Ferry. No broken glass errors. I mean, literally no errors in any of these guys right here. So we literally just went through all of those state quarters. There were no errors, and they were in this mystery bag that my father-in-law had, and not entirely sure why. So the good finds would be these 3 silver quarters, again 90% silver, and then the things that are not quarters that we haven't gone through yet. We've got, first and foremost, we have this dime. Actually, we've got a lot of, look at these guys. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 dimes. These guys, again, worst case scenario, they are all pretty beat up, but they are mostly errors. The Harper's Ferry can absolutely have errors, so I actually, in fact, will glance at it, but then I keep them. So this is a stack of Harper's Ferry for me to go through after the stream to just double check and make sure. The broken glass is what I check for immediately, and then I look after to see if there's anything else there. So again, these dimes right here, worst case scenario, they are 90% silver. 64 and earlier for dimes, just like with quarters. But these guys could very well be worth more because they predate the modern dime. And then there are these 2 50-cent pieces. So these 50-cent pieces, again, are primarily silver. We've got a gold-plated one, so this one actually came out of a collector's set. So this guy should not even be in circulation, technically. But that's a unique guy right there. And more importantly, these guys again are primarily silver. So he's got a few things in his mystery bag that are primarily silver, and then he has a couple foreign coins that, I mean, I can show, but I literally know nothing about. Don't know if they're anything worthwhile. So we've got just, again, pesos, 200 pesos. This Netherlands 10-cent piece. Yeah, the gold plated is... No, it's actually plated. Like, that is designed that way. That's not, like, clad or anything that's, like, patina or anything. That was actually manufactured, and then that plating was put on there. But it's very worn on the face. In fact, it's almost gone on the face. Like, you can see that right there. There's very little of it. On the back, you can still see a lot of that gold plating. So that's probably one that's definitely worth at least putting into a sleeve. Probably shouldn't be sitting loose because you're going to just rub more of that gold off there. So from that mystery bag, that's kind of what we found. We also have another mystery bag, but I'm going to save that mystery bag, I think, for tomorrow's stream. Plus, we're going to have quarters. Always have quarters. We'll probably have some more unrolled, and we'll get some more rolled quarters. And I'm going to sort this guy out off stream. So this is that big jug. And again, trying to go through that because it's mostly pennies and has so much. I'm going to sort that out, make it a little bit easier to then search through, and we'll go from there. I'm located in Iowa. Thanks, Roth. And Chef42 XX, thank you for the follow. Kiana Shellnut, thank you for the follow as well. So we're going to have this box to go through. We have one more mystery bag from my father-in-law to go through, and it looks like this one is probably all silver change and a lot of older stuff, so I might even do a little digging. He also has some bills in there that probably shouldn't be folded and definitely shouldn't be that way. iPops, again, thank you for the finger hearts, I appreciate it. And we just went through, here's silver change right there. We just went through these, nothing of note there. And again, finally, tonight, we will put this back here. In tonight's finds, we got, here, I'll even put these on the scope so you guys can see the errors instead of just telling you. Why don't I show you? We found this guy tonight. Look at that Homestead leaky bucket. Whoa. Sorry, computer. We've got that Homestead leaky bucket. Look at all of that extra material at the bottom of that bucket. That's a really good example of a leaking bucket error that we found in tonight's quarters. We got this Nevada right here. That extra chunk of material right there between those legs, that is a pooping horse example. That's what you want to see, is that poop from the horse. And we got yet another, I think our 9th Alaska paw error. This one's a little less prevalent, but you've got that extra chunk of material right there. And everything else was a find from last night. So that's what we've got. As far as scope goes, this is a Tom Love 7-inch microscope. I think it's about 120 bucks. And then it's just using a micro USB to attach to my computer. And there it is. That is what's called AirPlay. So then we watch what's on my iPhone on the computer. And then I'm using Streamlabs OBS to stream everything that we are talking about to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So all kinds of ways that you can catch the stream. If you want to see more than just the little screen, you can absolutely do that. We did not find a W tonight. I mean, technically there are possible errors for every state because you can find things on the Washington side of the quarter, but there are some errors that are much more common than others, and that's what we are primarily searching for. But that's a really good question. Yes, if you don't plug the scope into a computer, that big screen that said PC camera will absolutely... Tom Love, TOMLOV, 7-inch scope. I had a 4-inch one that I got initially and actually didn't work properly. So I returned the Tom Love 4-inch and got the 7-inch. But the 4-inch is about half the price. If you aren't connecting it to a computer, it worked great, but when I connected it to a computer, the buttons wouldn't work properly and it just wasn't functioning right. So I returned it and got the bigger, better one. And the picture quality on the 7-inch one is a lot better than the 4.7. So yeah, I guess with that, how do you, man, that's what I get for being new here. There we go. So again, I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you haven't done so already, follow, but I believe everyone that's probably still here has. But thank you guys so much for hanging out on the stream tonight. Man, these lights are really making my hair, and the headphones are really making my hair look white. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining the stream this evening. I'm going to be back tomorrow evening later, and I'm going to post on TikTok when that's going to be. Or you can always see my stream schedule on when I'm going to be live by joining the Discord. I have a link to my link tree in my bio. All of that's there. Tomorrow night at the start, I'm going to post the giveaway winner. So I am going to get you guys hooked up tomorrow. And I'm going to have that list of the top 5. And I am on stream going to use random.org to find that top winner of the 2019 LOL W quarter. So join me tomorrow, or if you don't join me tomorrow, make sure you have followed me and I will follow you back and send you a PM. But I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for making my first TikTok live stream awesome, and I will catch you all tomorrow night. I don't know the exact time. I only work until 5, but I don't want to overlap other streamers too heavily. I've been streaming at like 10 p.m. Central Time, so it might be a little bit later in the day. But because I get off earlier and I'm going to do mystery boxes first, I might start it off a little bit earlier and then go over to coins a little bit later in the evening. So in my Discord, I'll have the exact time, and I will post on TikTok a video with the exact time once I have that situated and get that all squared away. So thank you so much. Yes, it was my first live on TikTok, not my first live stream in general, but with that said, you guys have been awesome. Really, it's all thanks to you. So I appreciate it. I'll get you guys the time tomorrow, and we will announce that winner. So thank you all so much. Have a great night, and I'll catch you then. Bye. So, if you were viewing anywhere other than TikTok, I appreciate you guys hanging out, but I will catch you all later.